Okay, well, we're here today to do a couple of things. This is PuzzleCraft Live, so we will be doing a puzzle. We've got all the pieces here ready to go. Um, and it's also going to be a reading of the third Hollywood Hogs newspaper. So,
you have to take
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So we've all got our copies here. And we'll be showing the newspaper up on the screen. Do you want to get a visual on the screen there?
Yeah, eyes on that.
There we go. So that's the newspaper, and we're going to be reading through it and sort of doing a sort of a live news report. This is kind of like CNN in a way.
Yeah.
But we're also doing a puzzle, so it's kind of like if they did a puzzle on CNN. That's what this is.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you wanna get started with the puzzle and then
Yeah.
we'll get into the paper?
Well,
in a few
the first
minutes?
thing I wanted to do is talk about how I've. I mean, it's been. When was the last time we did this? It was pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I should say, there's a puzzle cam.
Oh yeah.
So this is a live shot of.
See my hand moving over right now. So if you just like last time, if you see a piece that you see fits someplace, either call us or put something in the comments about it. Just tell us where the piece is, and we'll try and fit it together. But I wanted to offer a little mea culpa. I mean, it's not my fault really. I had some the first time we did this, I had a pretty radical idea. I mean, I thought it was pretty radical about the best method of putting a puzzle together being finding the middle piece first. I mean, you can go back, look at the tape. That didn't work very well. Found out that I've got that information from some kind of joke website, and it was not accurate. So what I've come to understand in the 3 years on since we've done the first one is that, and this makes sense when you think about it. We were talking about this earlier, Joel. So it's still, I mean, it goes without saying that you should not be looking for the sides. I mean, that I stand by that, by that from last time around.
Especially the corners. You shouldn't start with the corners.
Right.
The sides.
And because if you look at a side piece like this, there's only 3 options to put another piece in here. The rest of these, the interior pieces, there's 4, and with corners, those are the worst because there's only 2. You know what I mean?
Yep.
2 on the corners. So if you think about this, this really makes sense. The ideal scenario is that we find not the edges or the corners, but that first interior ring of the puzzle. So not the edge, but one inside from the edge.
Yep.
So you're still getting a wide, you're still kind of delineating the puzzle, but you're working with pieces that have a lot more options than the sides. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It does to me, but
yeah.
I don't know if it, yeah.
So I mean, same as last time. Not much has changed. I mean, we're just going to be going through the puzzle and looking for those pieces of that first interior ring of the puzzle. No one said it's going to be easy, but puzzles aren't supposed to be easy. That's why this is 25,000 pieces. Is that what this one is?
I don't know. Do you have the box? I don't know what.
1,000.
Oh,
1,000.
Okay.
So, and while we're doing this, we're going to be reading selections from Hollywood Hogs, which is a news magazine that Jamie put together.
Yep.
With the help of some other folks, and it's got a cover.
It has got a cover.
Yeah. Got a letter from the editor. I'm not seeing like a. Don't magazines usually have, what's that interior page that has like the tells you where? Oh, there is a part in here where you say where your offices are located, though, right? That's right. It's just in a couple pages in. That's right.
But it's a news story, so we released a bunch of official locations for the purpose of like if we call a meeting, then
Yeah.
everyone can come
Yeah.
to that location. So
Right.
it's going to be any one of these locations.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If that ever happens, I hope I'm on the phone tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there
Everyone
something?
does.
Did you want to start with something in particular here?
Well, let's go through some of these headlines because some of these headlines are pretty interesting. It'll kind of give us an overview.
I have one. Should we check to make sure that we actually have audio? Like, can you is your stream up just to be extra safe because it should. Okay, good.
Yeah, we're all
right.
good.
Okay, I was a little worried about that. And I had actually two questions. The other one was, what if we find, not looking for it, but what if I find an edge
Throw it
piece?
back in.
Throw it back in.
Because
In fact, honestly,
I found
you should.
one too.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
not just throw it back in, mix it back in.
Yeah, as I say, you don't
You know
want to
what I
throw it back all in the same spot.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Chances are, like, yeah, right, exactly.
You don't want to save it.
No.
No, okay.
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
Cool.
No.
Okay, I put mine back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the first, I don't know if this is what ironic means, but the first headline is actually PuzzleCraft Live. So, there's see that on the very first headline?
Yeah, I think that's irony, right?
I've never really understood what irony means.
Me neither.
But
I've been saying that for 30 years. I don't think anyone knows what it means.
I think I knew what it was when I was in like 5th or 6th grade. I think I knew exactly. There was like different types of irony.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is
Well,
anymore.
I'll say this too. I feel like I understood it more 30 years ago than I do now.
Yep.
Like I couldn't tell you what it means.
Yep.
But
if someone wants to call in and actually tell us if that is irony,
well,
irony,
I might. I think I don't think it's irony, but it is ironical.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, the first headline is PuzzleCraft Live. So there is a story about this actually happening right now in the newspaper. So
yeah, it's portentous. Is that what they call that? Or it's like predictive of the future.
Yeah.
Oh, predictive of the present, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What else have we got here? So co-founder Jenny rides hog on sea floor. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
That's pretty cool.
I don't even know how you do that.
I don't know either.
I'd like to see that.
I wasn't there, but
I wonder if in a scenario like that you just drive into the water, or if they drop you down in there and then you start going.
I believe she started on land.
Oh, really?
And just went straight in.
I think you'd have to have weighted tires, probably.
Or like filled with water, filled with tires, like they do with what do they call those sand? Those things that go through sand, like drive through sand dunes, buggies.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I would have liked to seen that.
Yeah, we should get a photo. No one took a photo.
How is that? That's surprising to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get access to a photo.
Yeah, that surprises me.
Well, I'm thankful that we can read about it at least.
Yeah.
10-year prank comes to an end. There's a story about that. Invest in hogwash. That's really interesting, actually.
That is really interesting. We were talking about that before the camera started rolling. And not to jump in, but I'm excited about this idea. I want to be a angel investor. It's basically a car wash for hogs. And why has no one ever thought of this before?
Yeah.
And obviously, you're not going to be on the bike. Well, actually, you could, because especially in California, I think there's like helmet laws, right?
Mm.
And they always dress up in those real tight-fitting leather type things. So I bet, you think you could go through a car wash on a motorcycle just in regular motorcycle gear without getting, because that clothing's meant to, kind of protect them from the elements.
Mm.
Do you think they could do it?
Well, I mean, the helmet.
Shine them up.
Yeah, like the helmet. If you close the.
If you close the flap.
The front.
And most of them have the, what do they call those there? The kind of leather neck strap.
Right, going to your chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we would do it in a way where you wouldn't have to get off your hog. Because the
that's
goal,
what. Yeah.
the goal for all of this is not to get off your hog.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
to
You have to
always be on your hog.
Yeah.
Would you have to shut it off, or could he leave it running too?
Well, you gotta
No,
put it in neutral like you do in a
Oh,
car. I think.
okay.
You know,
Yeah.
you get put that.
And get on the track.
One, in this situation, there'd only be one rut that you would go in. You know what I
Mm.
mean? What do you think about? Not to completely change the subject, but
No.
what do you think about three-wheeled motorcycles? Are you pro or against that?
Oh, pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that surprises me.
absolutely.
Okay.
Any kind of motorcycle.
Okay.
As long as it's not four wheels.
Yeah.
You know, as long as
of
it's
course
not four
Yeah.
wheels, you know, that's
Yeah.
where it starts to get a bit like a car.
Yeah.
And we're hugely anti-car.
What about a sidecar?
Oh,
Motorcycle
we
sidecar.
mentioned
yeah?
sidecars
I
in
haven't
this
gotten
issue.
to that. I have not gotten to that part
Yeah, no,
yet.
we mentioned sidecars in this issue. When Jenny came to meet me one day, she came on a hog. She was sitting in the sidecar while a man was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So no, we're all for sidecars, three-wheeled hogs, all of that stuff. Yeah.
What about a three-wheeled hog with a sidecar?
That's fine. That's technically there's sidecars have two wheels though, don't
They only have one.
No, then it'd be. Do they really?
Well, let me
I think
look.
so, yeah.
Well, yeah, that seems a little. If it is four wheels though, I guess you could make a carve out for
Right.
For sidecars.
Well, just as long as it's not four wheels. Like if it's below or above, you know, if it's below four wheels, that's fine. If it's above four wheels, that's fine.
So
if it ends up
five-wheel
being
motorcycles, okay?
five wheels, that's okay.
I think a sidecar is one wheel.
That seems dangerous. Like.
You're right. It's one wheel.
Is it really?
Yep.
The other side attaches.
Oh, because it attaches to the and then the one. See, I still don't like that. I still feel like there ought to be two. Oh yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
scroll
I don't
up.
either.
Can you show that to the camera? Is there any way you can show that to the camera?
I'm trying to zoom in on it. Oh, this is actually on eBay. Only $2,600.
How do they ship that?
Just write it up here.
Is that buy it now?
Can we all see that? Can you see that?
Yep.
Yep, you can see that.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it here, and I can see it in Joel's laptop.
Okay. Well, as long as you can see it.
Yeah. How much was that?
2,600.
Anybody watching it?
What does it say? Two available, four sold. 133 people are watching this.
Can you view sellers' other items?
Let me see. I just got this computer, so
okay.
I'm
that's okay.
I'm kind of learning. Oh yeah, they've got a bunch of stuff. They've actually got a lot of stuff.
They've got a lot of sidecars.
Yeah. Sidecar, 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 necklace.
A sidecar necklace?
No, that's actually a tail light. I thought it was a. I thought it was a necklace. It'd be a cool necklace.
I'll bet this guy does make jewelry too.
Yeah. Can you see how I thought that might have been a necklace?
Not really.
Really? Okay.
Actually, it looks like a.
That's the part that goes
like
on.
a face, though. Is that supposed to be a face?
Yeah, I thought that was like the pendant,
I
and
see,
that was the part that goes around your neck. I got jewelry on the brain.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, hogwash. I would like to give you money for this idea.
Awesome. That's the goal. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a message to Uncle Robert. That's page 7.
Maybe we should go through the office locations first. You want to do that?
Yeah, let me. These aren't technically offices; they're just locations around the globe.
They are legitimate mailing addresses.
No.
Okay.
They're just locations. Like one of them's a motorcycle parking lot. One of them's a coffee bean. One of them's the Chinese theater.
I see.
So we've got,
So we shouldn't be sending any.
No, what page are we
on?
We're on page 6.
We shouldn't be sending any mail to these addresses.
I wouldn't, just in case.
Even if we say like care of Hollywood Hogs or something like that.
Unless we plan it out where someone's there while it's being delivered, because like one of them's just the 101 freeway. So if you want to try, if you're not going to send mail to the 101 freeway, But if someone's there, like we could have someone parked there, and you could send something,
Right.
and we could pick it up.
Is that like right by the Hollywood sign there? Is that where that is, or is that on the beach?
No, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long freeway, but
And there's a lot of locations here, and they're spread out all over. I mean, there's you got one in Milwaukee, you got one in Dubuque,
one in Sydney.
one in Sydney. You have 4 in California. That's
Yep.
a lot of covering a lot of California there.
Yeah. So if we say
2 in Hollywood.
Yeah. If we
3 in Hollywood.
Yeah. So if we say we're calling a meeting to, 249C Sussex Street, Sydney, it's like be there, and make it work.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So we've got. You can look up these addresses on Google and see where they are, but they're just the raw addresses for meeting spots.
Right.
So,
I see. I understand.
So I'm not going to go through what they all are, but you can
look them up.
You can look them up.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not going to do all the work for you. It's
right.
like you put in some work as well.
Wonder if that location in Dubuque is that Italian restaurant.
No, I think that's on Main Street.
I wonder what that is.
No, that's that. Well, I can
market?
share one.
Right.
That's the
teaser.
Oh, the museum.
No, that's the. Well, is it a museum? The Harley Davidson
I think
store.
It's just a store.
It's just a store, yeah, with the big
We
eagle.
can buy motorcycles.
With the big eagle outside.
Eagle's huge. That thing is. My
yeah.
God.
And it's haunted if you.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The eagle is.
The whole spot.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a story in the second issue. About how it's haunted.
Of course.
Yeah.
I wonder if this address in Dubuque is where that really weird John Wayne billboard used to be. Do you remember? It was up. I think it was after you. I can't remember what it was. It was something about like being nice to people or something, or he'll hurt you, something like that. Or maybe it's where that it didn't doesn't like Geordie LaForge own a bar across in East Dubuque?
No, Kate Mulgrew.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Star Trek.
Right.
Someone with the same last name as her.
Yeah.
Owns a bar in East Dubuque.
So I'm sorry. Did I upended things? Did you want to get onto the message to Uncle Robert?
Well, why don't we? Oh yeah, the message to Uncle Robert. Yeah, okay.
Oh, we can do. Yeah, I mean, if you'd rather go, we don't even have to go front to back here. I mean, however you like it.
Yeah, well, why don't I read the letter from the editor first
to
kind of set the scene?
Okay.
Because this kind of sets the scene of what we're doing here.
Who is the editor?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically Jenny and I. We're the editors.
Yeah.
But there are other people involved.
You don't need to explain yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So, letter from the editor. Dear reader, well, look who's back. Your tiny pea brains need more news, do they? Well, you've come to the right place because there's lots of news in this newspaper. Need to learn a thing or two? There's an education section too. Do you like rock music? Yes, there's a rock music section, okay? There's something for everyone in this issue of the Hollywood Hogs newspaper. We know you've been drooling at the thought of another newspaper, and now it's finally here. You can read about news, education, rock music, psychology, punishments, and classified ads, and more. Feast your eyes on issue 3 of the Hollywood Hogs newspaper, the only newspaper with news people actually want to hear about. Finally, your little brains will have some proper stimulation. Look at your pathetic face reading this message using your 2 brain cells that are left. You people are never tested these days.
They are.
You just sit on your phones and read tweets about posts all day, laughing and looking at your dog and cat images and people falling off ladders and idiots making stupid videos about God knows what. Are you ready to actually do some thinking? Are you ready for your mind to be tested by news and ideas that you've never heard before? Are you ready to view news that is so interesting and fascinating that your brain might come out of this bigger than Einstein's? Well, you're going to need a new skull because you're about to read the Hollywood Hogs newspaper. Okay, I think you're ready. Welcome. Have a great day.
It's a stirring call to action, I think.
Yeah, so it's kind of calling out, a lot of people and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I like you mentioned Einstein,
mm-hmm.
and I know I saw something in here that really piqued my curiosity about Einstein. I don't know what page that's on.
Was it his brain?
Yeah.
That's on
and
the
I
front
hate to,
page. That's on the very front page.
Oh, that's right. I don't know if you guys can see this. And they're always You ever know? They're always doing something with people's brains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like famous people or whatever. But I don't know if you guys can see this, but they.
I got it up on the screen.
Okay, they crushed Einstein's brain.
Yeah.
Why?
We don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know if it was an accident. We don't know what happened, but it was in the museum because it's displayed in a museum. And they came in one morning and it was just
Like flattened.
Flattened, yeah. And they got a photo of it there, as you can see. That's not the real shape of a human brain.
No.
It's a lot shorter and more sort of flat.
So, I mean, to what end, though? Why would they? Is this something the museum wanted to do for like scientific purposes?
God knows, yeah.
Has there just been silence from the museum that they put out any official?
We've reached out to them and they refused to comment, even though we actually found the brain because it went missing one day, and we actually found it in a deli. So you'd think they'd you know be a bit more open to sharing what happened with us, but
yeah.
So you found it before it was crushed?
We found
and returned it.
Yeah, this is old news now, but
yeah.
but it went missing. This is when it was in its normal size. It went missing, and we did find it in a deli. Someone had mixed it up with some meat, and and we found it in a deli.
It does kind of look like. I mean, it does look like meat, kind of.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that they had Einstein's brain, and they didn't even know.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, you've got that mixed up with something else. That's not just the meat that you're serving. Like, this is something else.
I don't even know how you get it out of the. How do you even get? How does the brain even leave the vat? You know what I mean?
Don't know. Yeah.
That should be.
Sounds like an issue with management at the museum.
Or like their security guards.
Yeah. Protocols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I read Co-Founders in Milwaukee? That's a really interesting story, actually.
Okay.
It sort of covers what I've been doing these last few years and what's been going on with Jenny and I and what we've been doing to do with the Harley Davidson Museum in Milwaukee. So I'll just start reading and everyone can listen along. So Milwaukee 2022. Jamie moved from Milwaukee from Australia in 2021 because she wanted to study Harley Davidson at Marquette University. It's true. After she moved and applied for a full scholarship, she found out they don't teach Harley Davidson at that university or any of the surrounding schools. What do you mean you don't teach Hog? What kind of school is this? Jamie said to the dean of one of the schools. I'm so sorry, co-founder Jamie, the dean said pathetically. He was so impressed with her credentials that he offered her a full ride, but Jamie declined because they don't teach what she wants to learn, Harley Davidson. He begged her to join the school, but she raised her hand and told him to please shut up for a minute. I'm trying to think. The dean wondered what she was thinking about until she walked out of the room and closed her eyes, but kept walking. She walked for about 5 hours with her eyes closed until she felt something, a feeling. She stopped in her tracks and opened her eyes. What did she see? There, standing in front of her, was an entire museum dedicated to Harley Davidson. A hog museum? What the hell is this? As much as she wanted to go inside, she refrained and called her co-founder on the phone. Jenny, you've got to get to Milwaukee. There's something I need to show you. I'm on my way, said Jenny. Jamie went home and waited for Jenny to arrive from California. The next day, Jamie stands at a street sidewalk wearing a black suit and tie and has butterflies in her tummy. Do you know why? Because her co-founder is about to arrive. She hears the rumbling in the distance. Then down the street, she sees a motorcycle hog coming around the corner. There's a really tough and strong bearded man driving the hog, and Jenny is sitting in the sidecar. That's in the sidecar.
Good callback.
Yeah. He's wearing a leather vest, his tattoos are showing, and he's also wearing a red bandana, while Jenny is wearing a black suit and tie, just like Jamie is. When they pull up, Jenny gets out and taps the man on the shoulder. "You just got brownie points for this one," Jenny says. The man replies, "Anything for a co-founder of the Hollywood Hogs." Then he speeds off into the distance. Jenny and Jamie do their epic secret handshake and give each other a hug.
Any chance we can? Sorry to interrupt you, but any chance you can? Is that secret only between you two, or can you show us what that handshake is?
I would love if Jenny was here and we could do it,
but you just don't feel comfortable doing it.
I don't feel comfortable doing just my part, you know. I feel like it would look silly. I mean, it looks awesome when we do it together, but it would look silly if I just did my part, because it wouldn't make sense.
It's kind of like dancing by yourself or something.
Exactly.
Although don't they say dance like you're by yourself?
Dance like no one's watching?
No.
Do an epic handshake like no one's watching?
No. Anyway, go ahead.
After catching up briefly, the co-founders go inside Jamie's Milwaukee residence and they get changed into street clothes as to not attract attention from fans.
Especially in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Street clothes will allow them to blend in and look like regular civilians. They rode on Jamie's hog not to the Harley-Davidson Museum, but somewhere else first, a little hidden gem in downtown Milwaukee someone told Jamie about. It's called the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino.
Of course.
Yeah, the co-founders sucked on lollipops and walked through the casino after winning a few rounds of poker against some losers. The co-founders got back on Jamie's hog and rode down the street to the Harley-Davidson Museum. The co-founders entered the museum and couldn't believe their eyes. There were Hog t-shirts, toys, and magnets everywhere. This was amazing. Could it get any better than this? A worker overheard the co-founders' conversation and came up to them. "Just so you know, this isn't the museum, this is the gift shop. If you exit through the door, cross the road, and enter that big door over there, you will be in the museum." The co-founders followed these instructions and couldn't believe their eyes once again when they were in the real museum. This was pretty cool, but they liked the gift museum better.
That's always, and I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but isn't that always the case with museums? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll go to an art museum and you know, it's nice looking at the art and stuff like that, but I'm really the entire time I'm waiting to get to that gift shop.
Well, we thought the gift shop was the museum because there was so much stuff in there.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's like almost like sometimes they're almost indistinguishable.
Yeah.
And I would argue, I mean, honestly, you know, I would argue that that they're better than the actual museums, because everything's they think a lot more about like product placement and stuff.
Yeah.
You can buy everything that's in there. You can't go into a museum and
you can also touch things.
You can
too.
Absolutely, and take flash photography.
We were touching everything.
Yeah.
Well, at first we weren't because we thought it was the museum, so we were sort of standoffish. But then they told us, no, this is the gift museum.
Right.
And then we started touching everything. But as the co-founders strutted through the museum.
It'd be cool if you could get a. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine.
If you could get you know, they offer like tours of museums, like a tour of the gift shop.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Would have been especially cool for us because we were kind of lost. We were in a daze, like there's so much to look at.
Sensory overload.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if there was someone to guide us through that experience, that would have been awesome. As the co-founders strutted through the museum, they noticed something. There is hogs everywhere. It doesn't matter what angle your head is turned at, there is a hog in your vision. It reminds the co-founders of their garages. They walk through the museum and see a massive photo of the co-founders of Harley-Davidson. They ask a fan to take their photo, and you can see that photo up the top left.
Nice.
Of the story. There it is there.
You guys look like you're pretty much decked out in all black hog gear there.
Yeah, well, we chose street clothes because we didn't want to dress like the co-founders of Harley-Davidson.
Right.
See, that's what we were dressed as. That's how we dress normally. But we thought, let's wear street clothes so we can kind of blend in. But you can
still, there's still, I still sense it. I can sense that there's this, you know, there's something about that, you know,
inspired
those outfits. Yeah, they're kind of inspired by.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then they brought a tape measure with them to do some inspecting along the way. Everything was up to
That's
code.
good.
We did bring a tape measure, and you can see in the
Yeah,
other
I see
photo.
that.
It's kind of dark. It's kind of a dark image, but
Are
see, that's
you seeing how high Jenny is sitting on the?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So
I see.
everything we prepared for the inspection, we kind of did a mini inspection of the museum, and yeah, everything was up to code and up to par, so that was good.
So is that tape measure to make sure her seat is set at the right height?
Yeah, it's just to make sure everything's at the right height, and we had some numbers written down, so we sort of compared the numbers of the tape measure to what we had written down, and
Yeah, you should. I think the seat should be set so your feet touch the ground, but not totally flat foot.
yeah.
You know, like you should be sort of on your tiptoes. And then I think
I always feel like that's uncomfortable. Like I've never been. It doesn't matter how small the bike was.
Yeah.
I've never been on a bike in my life that I felt like I wasn't reaching for the ground with my feet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I do feel better if I can have feet on the ground and bend my knees.
I think that's one of those. I think there's a lot of things about biking that are wrong. Frankly, I still don't see any reason why bike seats have to be so uncomfortable. I mean, after all these years, you know, I just don't understand it. Why not just put like a
couch cushion?
yeah, or like what we're sitting on here. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
No, I completely agree with you. Last sentence: the co-founders rode to a restaurant and had lunch, and Jamie threw up. The end. I did throw up. I got so, I don't want to say car sick.
Excited?
Well, it wasn't out of excitement. It was more, I got sick on the hog because Jenny rode. Like, normally when I ride my bike, I feel fine, but
Yeah.
Jenny rode to the restaurant, and then
it's like kind of like riding when you get car sick when you're riding in the passenger seat.
exactly. So when I was in the sidecar, I was kind of getting tossed around, and I did throw up in the.
There's no shame in that though, and honestly, I think the best sidecar rides probably end in throwing up. I mean, you're not doing it right unless you throw up.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I'm looking something here about a new Uber app, but it's all
oh yeah, you want to read that?
It says the co-founders are in talks with Uber about a new app that will be like Uber, but all motorcycles. Users will be able to reserve rides for one person or two individuals if a motorcycle with a sidecar is available nearby.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of sidecar talk. I'm intrigued by.
Well, it is the Hollywood Hogs newspaper.
That's true.
So it's to be expected.
Do we have that app up and running yet?
No. You mean the.
No, we were gonna have remember we were gonna have an app for the QVC code.
Oh yeah, where is that code?
Where's the box at?
Oh, it's over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, wait a minute. There's two. There really should be a QVC code on both pieces, shouldn't there?
I think, yeah.
I don't think. No, and I don't think any underwriter would underwrite that kind of packaging.
I think the QVC code should be on the back of all these pieces.
That's a good idea.
Just in case. Yeah.
So here, this is what you're looking for there?
Yeah. Should I?
I guess just put it up to the
puzzle cam, maybe? If you could scan that.
Yeah, everyone scan that.
Here, I'll put it over here.
Or maybe over there. I can't reach that. Yeah, scan that QVC code. And Jamie, I think you developed this. I don't know if you want to explain how it works.
We want everyone to please scan that code because it's really cool. We spent a lot of. So just take out your iPhone. It works kind of like a.
It doesn't even need to be an iPhone anymore.
It doesn't.
I think
okay.
No. I think everything has those.
Okay.
Pretty much now.
Yeah. Yep. So grab your phone of choice. Scan that code, and a little thing should pop up saying, do you want to open this in Safari or in whatever web browser you use.
Say no.
No?
Yeah, right. You don't want to do that.
You hit no.
Yeah.
So make sure you hit no, and then scan it again.
Yeah.
And then it'll bring up a different link.
Yes, exactly.
And that's when you say, yes, open it.
No, never, ever.
Don't do it.
Click and that goes for any QVC code you look at.
That's
never
the trick,
go to the first link it takes you to. That's that's a scammer's, dream right there.
Yeah. So open it up, and what you'll find is this puzzle in a 3D environment. So you'll be able to actually do this puzzle along with us, and you'll be able to see, I don't want to turn it into a competition, but see if you can do it faster than us.
Oh, they're not playing. Are they doing their own puzzle by themselves, or are they? I thought they were synced into this puzzle so that, like, as we're doing pieces,
Yeah.
like if we put two pieces together, that option wouldn't be available to them.
Yeah, no, that's right. So they'll be able to like go like this.
Oh yeah.
And go like this, and drop them,
Oh,
and start doing this themselves. So if you scan the QR code, you would have seen the pieces move on your screen.
So would we see that here though? Like if they pull those pieces out, we would.
Yeah. See, I just saw a piece move.
Oh really?
So yeah.
Oh.
So that means.
So that means
somebody
else is working on the puzzle.
Someone is logged in.
Okay. That's good news. I think that's good to know that people are downloading that app and that it's working.
Yeah, so we can all work on this together, and I created all these 3D models. I sat and gosh, it took me about 2 weeks of solid, 8 hours a day. I created all these 3D models in a piece of software and
puzzle software.
No, just like a 3D modeling program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I created every single one of these. I remember this one. But
Is that a particularly difficult one?
Yeah, it was just to get the edges right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I created all those 3D models, and so
you're not flipping those over, are you?
What do you mean?
The pieces? You're not flipping them over, are you?
No.
I know. You look like you're flipping some pieces over here. Never flip a puzzle piece over.
Oh.
If it's upside down, keep it upside down.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
That's another thing they don't tell you about.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's more of a. I don't know if it's like a. It's not necessarily to make things more difficult, but I guess the thinking is that if you see a piece and you think two pieces go together, you should be able to also tell that when you don't have the. You should be able to. You should train yourself to be able to see when two pieces can go together, whether they're face up, face down, one's face up, one's face down.
Play it where it lies.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good. It's a really good golf analogy. You gotta play it where it lies, or you're never gonna get better. You know what I mean? And I mean, just look at how much we haven't turned. I mean, except for that one you turned over, but we haven't turned over anything here, and we're doing great.
Yep.
So,
Is there anything you guys want to read here?
I read a story like this, and a woman has a baby just to take time off work. I noticed this woman isn't named, but is it possibly a woman that works with one of the authors of this publication that maybe they're angry at for taking time off work or something, or is this just a general interest news story? Do you have someone in mind when you?
Yeah.
I noticed the woman isn't named.
Yeah. So we found a woman who we were at a hospital. I'm not gonna go into why, but Jenny and I were at a hospital, and we met a woman who did just have a baby, and we were saying, congratulations, and you must be so excited about this new life you created, and all this stuff. And she was saying, I actually just wanted to take some time off work, because when I have a baby, I get to take however many months it was off work. And she's like, I really just needed some time off. And I thought, at first I thought, wow, that's that's pretty gutsy, you know, to have a baby just to take time off work. But then I thought, like, well done.
Yeah, right.
You know.
You know, it's also good exercise too. I mean, at least I would presume so. You see women having babies, and they're always, you know, flushed and sweating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Get your heart's rate up.
yeah, and it's probably like a really good core, you know, a really good core workout.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know how good of like cardiovascular it is because they're really just laying there. But yeah, I imagine that it's good good for to build up lean muscle mass.
Yeah, I think she did mention something about that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. We didn't name. She didn't want to be named. We asked her if we could do the story, and she said that's fine, but she didn't want to be named. So
right.
we just said area woman, but.
This dead clown story is a little dark. Maybe we should leave that up to unless you want to do some sort of warning before you read it or something. But
yeah, Ronald McDonald found dead. That's I mean,
not funny.
No, it's not at all. It's actually very traumatic for the family. We spoke to the family, and they're just devastated. So, and there's a photo there of Ronald McDonald's brother at a press conference talking about the case. I won't read the whole story, but yeah, basically he was found dead in his apartment. His brother said he was unrecognizable. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means in that context. I mean, does that mean that he? I mean, that could almost mean anything. It could mean that he.
It could be a good thing.
Could be a good thing. I mean, does that mean like he wasn't in makeup? His makeup was smeared.
No, I think
he was in different
just,
makeup.
I hate to say it, but I think he was just so badly beaten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Anyway, I don't want to bring the stream down or anything, but it is.
It seems just kind of crazy that somebody could. I mean, be that angry at somebody in that who's wearing that kind of outfit. You know what I mean? I mean, it almost seems like I'm trying to envision myself beating a clown to death, and I think it would be hard because I mean, I just want to start laughing.
You'd want to laugh.
Yeah, right.
And then while you're laughing, how can you kill someone while you're laughing?
Yeah.
Unless you're truly evil.
Yeah, and you know, I'll bet if I was a psychopath, I'll bet that's probably the best feeling in the world, is being able to kill somebody while you're laughing.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? I bet they really get off on that.
Yeah, and Ron McDonald, since he's such a dedicated clown, he was probably smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, like he probably never broke character.
He may not have had a choice. He may have been. They may have taped his face up like
maybe,
that.
Yeah.
Who knows what they did to him? God, it hardly bears thinking about.
Yeah. Anyway.
It sounds like you guys are not to jump ahead, but it sounds like you guys are in the process of maybe buying a bunch of land around the Hollywood sign.
We are. Yeah, this is a message. I don't know if I should even read it because it is directly to Uncle Robert.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is the only way.
I just wanted to mention that. I just kind of wanted to give a teaser there.
This is the only way we're communicating now with my uncle. He's unreachable.
When is the last time you had any communication with him? Like spoken, like you know that you're talking to him, not just a letter or whatever, or a telegram or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably been years at this point. It's probably been years. So it's kind of a sore subject. I mean, we were never that close, but we've just had some drama. There's been some drama going on the last few years with him, and yeah, the only way we've been able to contact him is because we know he reads these newspapers. So we put in a message so he can.
Does he have the app?
Which app?
Oh, I was thinking of the the puzzle app. I guess that doesn't matter though.
The puzzle app.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's watching. He might be watching.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe he downloads the app, sees
that might have been him.
Down.
That might have been him actually who moved that piece.
I wonder.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Uncle Robert, if you're watching, give us a sign. Maybe sign through the pieces that you're watching. Like maybe rearrange some.
Yeah.
And say, you know,
I'm spell, here. Yeah, Uncle Robert is here.
Yeah, or I'm here or something. Let's just see if he does it. All right, I guess he's not watching, but
yeah, well.
That's all right. It must have been someone else who moved that piece. But yeah, anyway, so we are looking to buy land in Hollywood around the Hollywood sign to build our post office on it. We're making a Hollywood Hogs post office, and this is really interesting. There's so much junk right now on all our phones. I mean, I know I get constant notifications that's just junk, like spam. My email recently got hacked. This is true. My email recently got hacked, and they bought about $2,000 worth of stuff from Ulta on my card, and to hide the order email, they signed me up for a whole bunch of different things. So now I get subscription emails, and I can't unsubscribe. So my phone is just full of junk.
Oh, jeez.
Constantly, yeah. So
is it all from Ulta?
No, it's not from Ulta. It's from the Wisconsin Health and blah blah blah, and Tony Eva's email subscription.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like they signed me up for a bunch of stuff to hide the Ulta email, so I wouldn't say, hey, I didn't order something.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you know that they're doing this nowadays, Joe?
No, but did they pick Wisconsin stuff because you were here? So I mean, that was.
Yeah.
I guess that was
pretty smart.
It's smart, but also
diabolical.
Well, that's kind of
devious.
Courteous.
Courteous, yeah.
At least it was stuff that I might be
relevant.
interested
in.
It's
stuff that's relevant to your life as opposed to
So anyway, my phone's full of junk, and I think this happens for a lot of people. Their phones are just full of junk nowadays. The Hollywood Hog Post Office is going to be a direct communication system for members of the Hollywood Hog family.
Nice.
So,
Can I I'm sorry to interrupt again. Did you first of all, can you pour me some of that coffee too? But did you not take the top entirely off of that?
You don't have to. It's a mistake that pretty much everybody but me makes.
Okay.
It's made so you keep the heat in.
Oh.
That's not on camera.
I'll grab some too, actually.
All right. I'll put it back.
Yeah, you should definitely. People need to see that. I'll bet 95% of the people don't know you can do this. That's incredible.
It doesn't look like much is coming out because it's empty, not because it's.
You sure it's not just not working? Maybe it only works a couple times. No, it's not working at all now.
All right.
Should we make another pot?
Gosh, maybe.
Should we take a little break?
I mean, we could, or somebody could read something.
I could read something while we.
Want me to make another pot of coffee, and then I can come back down and read something I haven't read yet. If that works, or bathroom breaks and things of that nature.
Sure. Actually, miraculously, I don't know. It's starting to scare me that I haven't gone to the bathroom as long as I have, because I've had
2 Diet Cokes.
Multiple Diet Cokes. I've had a bunch of coffee today.
Is something wrong, maybe, or?
I gotta be honest. I'm starting to feel a little bloated.
Okay.
Is there something that I mean, I know that they have laxatives for. But I wonder if they have the same for urine. What would that be?
I don't know.
How do you make your urine moister?
Stop. Yeah, you need to.
I wonder if the trick is that you do the opposite. You dry it out. Any ideas?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. This isn't my field, you know.
Well, I mean, you urinate too.
Well,
Right?
I know, but I don't understand everything about the
Yeah.
human body. Like I mean, I know the basics, but
Just seems like if something's like, I mean, what would be? I figure if it was like some sort of, they have like a kidney stone or whatever. If it was something like that, I think it would like, I'd feel
some
that.
other
Right?
issues. Yeah.
Well, this might be a good opportunity to have people call in.
There we go. I'll put the.
Yeah.
You want to put the number up?
Put the number up and see if people want to call in. This is, I think this is a perfect, sort of a kind of a perfect time to start this because it's, so we're in the central time zone.
Right.
So we're kind of like split the difference. You know what I mean?
Fair to everybody.
And it's what, like 8, 9 o'clock?
Yep. Where?
Right here. What time is it?
Oh, it's right here. It's 2 minutes to midnight.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I think I set.
Did you adjust your?
I think I went when I came from Michigan. I think I set my clock the wrong way, so it's 2 hours off now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I told a bunch of people to watch it. At 9 o'clock. That's
Okay. Well, maybe that's why no one's moving.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't seen any pieces move for. I mean, I just saw one move, but I think I did that.
I think you did it. Yeah.
Bump the table.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go make another.
Okay.
I'll at least get it started.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot here that we can read.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're making good progress, though. I think.
Yeah.
There's a picture of a baby peacock. It is pretty amazing.
Yeah, this photo is really cool.
It almost doesn't look real.
It is though.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
It's one of those photos where it's like, how did they get that shot? You know.
I think about that almost every picture I see. You know
really?
What I mean? Yeah. Like, how do you get that shot?
Yeah. How does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I have no idea how cameras work.
Me neither.
Like I mean, on a very basic level.
Yeah.
How did you
do
look at that and get it? You know what I mean?
And get it onto your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
So yeah, it's a nice picture of a peacock.
Yeah, baby peacock. It's really incredible. Yeah, I found it online a few months ago. I think Jenny found it and she sent it to me.
I wonder who took it.
We were just in awe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was on some website. There was no credit, so if anyone out there knows who took this photo, I don't think Joel's not.
Can we?
Yeah, can you?
Know if anybody has seen that?
If anyone knows who took that photo, that would be awesome to know.
Well, I'd love to know. Also, I'd love to know what that peacock looks like now. Who knows when that was taken? It might.
Right.
I mean, it might not be. I mean, I hate to think about it, but it
might be an old picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they now? You know.
Yeah. Right.
Situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read 2 farmers, 1 microphone.
Yeah.
So, this is an interview I did with a farmer named John McDougall. Really nice guy. But he sort of had an attitude in this interview, which was a shame. But, you know, you never know what people are going to be like when you meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not many people know this, but I've been a farmer. This is me talking. I've been a farmer for many years. I started in 2015 and have learned so much along the way. And today I'm sitting down with a fellow farmer, John McDougall. Hi, John. John says, hi, Jamie. Thanks for having me. Jamie, so you've been a farmer for how many years now? John, about 20 years now, yeah. How long have you been in this field? Haha. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 20 years. I've been farming for 8 years. I said, what do you grow or do you raise animals? John says, I grow wheat mainly, but also corn and soy. I also have a range of animals. Yep, get up at 4 a.m. every morning and work out on the farm. That's how I got these muscles. And he flexes.
Maybe I'm sorry to interrupt, but maybe Joel could read John's part.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let me pull it up here. That was the one I was thinking I wanted to read.
Oh, was it? Okay, I only just started.
Oh
so-
no, I'm not. Oh wait, just let me find it on the. What page is that? Two farmers. Okay, there we go. Oops. All right, where you at here?
So maybe we'll just start from the top. So,
Okay.
um,
Find it. Well, I'll just read it off here because then I can. Let me make sure I got it. Okay. Right, I'm John.
yeah, you're gonna be John, and I'm co-founder Jamie.
Okay.
So, yeah, not many people know this, but I've been a farmer for many years. I started in 2015 and have learned so much along the way. And today I'm sitting down with fellow farmer John McDougall. Hi, John.
Hi, Jamie. Thanks for having me.
So you've been a farmer for how many years now?
About 20 years now. Yeah. How long have you been in this field?
Wow, 20 years. I've been farming for 8 years. What do you grow or do you raise animals?
I grow wheat mainly, but also corn and soy. I also have a range of animals. Yep, get up at 4 a.m. every morning and work out on the farm. That's how I got these muscles.
Yeah. And wow, I grow corn and soy too, but only because that's what my farm came with when I selected easy mode.
Oh, okay. What do you mean? Sorry?
When I created my new character, I selected easy mode and it gave me a corn and soy field ready to harvest.
Oh, okay. You mean in a video game?
Yeah, I play Farming Simulator 17. It's really hard, in many ways harder than real farming.
Oh no. Let's see here. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Right, okay.
Um, so what's the hardest part about being a farmer in the Midwest in 2023?
Weather variability mainly. Also things like seasonal labor demands, market price volatility, financial pressures, etc. The cost of agricultural equipment, land, seed, and fertilizers can be substantial. Managing debt and accessing capital for expansion or modernization can be challenging, especially for smaller farmers.
Right, okay. I found that when I got my MacBook Pro in 2021, it was hard to find a version of Farming Simulator that worked with the new Silicon M1 chip. A lot of the releases didn't support Catalina too, so I was forced to use Farming Simulator 17 instead of Farming Simulator 22. It was rough going back to that older version, but I managed, so I definitely understand the trials of being a farmer in the 2020s.
Right.
So, how does weather and climate affect your farm?
The average temperature and length of growing season are critical factors for determining what crops can be grown. Crops have specific temperature requirements for germination, growth, and maturity. A decrease in temperature can shorten the growing season. Also, late spring frosts or early fall freezes can damage or kill crops, particularly those that are sensitive to cold temperatures. We employ frost protection measures such as irrigation and covering crops to mitigate these risks.
I actually just turn off weather and settings. It makes it so much easier. Um, what do you love most about farming?
My livestock farms homes cows, goats, chickens, and horses. Caring for and interacting with these animals can be both enjoyable and therapeutic. I've definitely developed a strong bond with my animals.
I had pigs, but I deleted them. They're so annoying.
So I thought when you asked me to do this interview that you were a real farmer. That's how you made it sound when you asked me to do this.
I am a real farmer. I use a program instead.
It's not really the same.
It's the same in a lot of ways.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite machine to ride around on? Mine's the harvester. I just ride around on it all day sometimes.
Well, for me, on the real farm, that would use up a lot of gas. I only use the harvester when I need to.
Gotcha, okay.
It makes me kind of mad you think playing a video game is similar in any capacity at all to what I do.
Well, have you ever played Farming Simulator?
I haven't, no.
Then how would you know?
Because playing a game on a computer is not the same as real farming. There's no manual labor involved in what you do. I actually do good for the community. You just sit around and play a game. The whole thing is insulting, and I feel like you tricked me.
Well, the game is very complex. It took me months to learn all the keyboard shortcuts, and I prefer to call it a program.
I think we're done here.
Thanks so much for doing the interview, John. It was really nice meeting you and learning about what you do, even though you had a bit of an attitude.
I don't want this printed, okay?
So that was an interview with John McDougall, who did end up having an attitude.
He seems. I got to be honest with you. lot of that shit he was talking about was boring me.
Right. I completely agree. And what I was talking about was interesting.
And I don't understand why he would get upset at you for nothing. I mean, it's not like you know, you're salting the earth at his farm, or it's not. I mean, nothing you do is affecting his farm, but I think he's letting it affect it.
Well, he's letting what I do affect him emotionally, and that's his problem.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Like I work on my farm daily. Sometimes I skip a day, but usually it's daily. Um, and you know, like I said, it took me months to learn the keyboard shortcuts and about all the equipment and everything.
Probably didn't even know what most of that equipment was about, huh?
Yeah,
until you started playing the game.
Yeah, well, honestly, I still don't. I know about
the program. I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, the program. Yeah, I mean, I know about the harvester. I do have a truck that the game came with. So.
What is it? Is it like a jalopy?
Yeah, it's just like a truck, like a ute. You guys don't call them utes here, but yeah, yeah. So I thought that was going to be an interesting interview with John, talking about how, you know, we're both farmers and what we both do, but he sort of ended up being a bit of a.
I honestly think you taught him a bit of a lesson here.
Yeah.
Especially by printing this against his direct wishes. I think
well, you know.
I feel like he had that coming.
Yeah, well, he agreed to do the interview and he agreed to have it printed. So whatever he says afterwards, that right. Doesn't matter because he said that I could print the interview originally, and that's what I'm going on.
What's the legal term for that, Joel?
Word is bond, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So anyway, So yeah, the perfect body type. This is actually really interesting. We've got an article in here about what the perfect body type is. There's a lot of arguing online about, well, is it, you know, does everyone want to be thin? Does everyone want to be accepting of being a bit heavier? What is the perfect body type?
Yeah.
Well, here we're actually telling you what it is, and it's mine.
Yeah.
So it's
a coincidence.
Yeah, it's a coincidence. Yeah. It's the body of a co-founder. So I've got pictures here of my body type. And I've got all my numbers down below, all the dimensions, like my hair color, my eye color, my weight,
I see your shin is 12 inches long.
Yeah, I measured all that.
How are you defining your knee at 3 inches? That the kneecap?
Yeah, kind of just the kneecap and just kind of.
Yeah.
I had one of those like fabric tape measures, so I kind of rounded it over my knee.
Right.
But now I just feel like the argument's over.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's fine by me. I mean, I've gonna have to do some work to,
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone's gonna start with this. Like everyone's gonna have to work towards this, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be tough for me to, but
I mean, we're different heights, so
that's the problem. I mean, that's like, yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna do, but
you're gonna have to go on a diet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna have to do.
Speaking
of which, it's a good segue.
Yeah, to the lentil wrap. Yeah.
Mouth watering here.
Yeah. This is a recipe I developed based off a recipe I read online. It's a recipe for a lentil wrap, and it was really good. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but it was really good. And you can see the end result down the bottom right.
Are these? Sorry to interrupt you again, but are these pictures out of order? So you're going. Wait a minute. Is it going clockwise?
No, it's going. So it makes sense when you read along. So you start off with boiling the lentils in the pan and cooking them down, and then you blend them. So
I
that's
see.
that's the second image, and then um, you put the batter in a pan in the same pan um, on a medium heat, and then it kind of cooks like a crepe, and then you flip it over, and that's the fourth image. And then the next image is you're making the paste, the lentil filling basically, um, and then that's me. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the sixth image.
So this is the paste right here, making the paste.
That's making the paste,
All
yep,
right.
and then that's spreading the paste onto the crepe.
Just the word paste makes me hungry.
Yeah,
know?
it does. Yeah. Um. And then you've got that end result. Um.
So how did you went
Beautiful.
from here
So
to here?
Yeah.
What was okay?
it looks like I don't know
Right.
what picture 4. It looks like this may have fallen like on the ground or something, and then was put back in the pan or something like that.
I think it's just it just hadn't spread out properly yet. I think when I flipped it, it sort of got folded over.
Oh.
But I mean, you can see by the end result that it all turned out okay.
Yeah, I'm not following this progression here.
Okay.
It's like so. There's like.
Well, you're not a chef.
That's true.
Know,
yeah.
Which you're not gonna fully.
If can I tell you this right now? If I was a chef, everyone, and I mean everyone, including my kids, my family, every one of my acquaintances, would be calling me chef.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So a chef looks at this and says, "Okay, I get it." Like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me.
Six pictures.
Yep.
And they're there.
Let me roll up my sleeves so I can show my mediocre tattoos.
Yep.
Yeah, but everybody would call me chef.
You think so?
I demand it.
You would.
I was
okay.
thinking about it.
Okay.
They would call me chef.
Yeah.
If like kissing my son goodnight. Good night, chef. You know, and if he didn't call me chef, I'd be pretty fucking pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Sorry to swear.
No, it's fine. You say,
I just have strong opinions about this because, chefs, it's not easy being a chef. It's not easy doing cocaine every night,
Okay.
It's not easy getting drunk every night. It's not easy complaining all day about your job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy being an asshole to everybody on TV.
It takes a toll.
It does.
Yeah.
It's not easy being a, middle-aged man with, a yin-yang tattoo sleeve. Anyway, I get a little upset about this.
No, it's rightly so.
I want chefs to be given their proper due because, I mean, that's one thing you never see. When's the last time you saw a chef on television? You have to think about it, don't you?
Right, yeah.
I just don't think they get the notoriety, I guess they.
I was a kid, I think.
Yeah.
Sesame Street or something.
Yan Can Cook or something like that.
Mm. Someone just said on the chat, actually, 2 of the worst cooks in one basement. That was from Chad, so.
Oh.
I don't know which.
Who is it to? I wonder.
Well, it's obviously not me because I'm.
He texted me and earlier and was skeptical about my claim about the feasibility of drying out your urine. But
really,
yeah, I thought he'd be very pro that.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I still don't have to go to the bathroom.
That's crazy. I think I've gone 3 or 4 times.
But you know what's going to happen. I'm going to go, and then it's going to be
every 5 minutes.
All blood.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah, no. I'll tell you the thing that I'm pretty excited about here is this, which I think this is written by Joel and Jamie.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm seeing this, and I have to say I'm pretty blown away by this, and I think that we might be spending a good deal of time talking about this.
Mhm.
So, do one of you want to do the honors here? This thing is mind blowing.
Yeah. So this is the scientist's drum kit setup. I don't know if Joel, do you want to read
Yeah, I can read it.
that intro?
Yeah, sure. Uh, Did you know the drum kit as we know it is not scientifically sound, literally? Today, Joel and Jamie are going to teach you how to set up a drum kit and a stage the way science intended. This drum kit setup is optimal for sound quality and will improve the overall quality of your performance.
It's going to make total sense
Yep.
when you hear this.
Yeah.
Below, we will show you how stages are typically set up and then how they should be set up. Let's begin.
Okay, so as you can see on that first image, that's the regular stage setup. That's what everyone's familiar with. You know, the drummer in the back, the guitarist and bassist in front, and it's all normal. You know, that's what everyone's familiar with. And you've got Joel behind at the drums there, and then me on guitar and bass. Just as a example, as if we were in a band. And then down below, you've got the scientist drum stage setup. So this setup provides the ultimate sound and concert experience for attendees. Now, this is really interesting. This is actually really interesting. Joel and I developed this over the last few weeks or so.
I'm excited about this, but I got so many questions about it.
Yeah, go for it.
No, go ahead.
Should I explain what's going on?
No, because I'm thinking of stuff I'm thinking of like higher level stuff. That's gonna
gotcha.
kind of once we drill down a little farther on this. So yeah, go ahead,
so
please.
As you can see on the screen, you've got Joel way back at the back of the stage, but you've got the drums at the front of the stage. And you're probably thinking, how does that work? Well, this is how it works. The drumsticks are like 6 feet long, first of all. And the pedal, this is my favorite part. The pedal, the bass drum, is that what's called, the pedal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's 6 feet long as well, because Joel's tapping the pedal from back at the back of the stage, but it reaches all the way to the front of the stage, and then it hits the bass drum. So that's really interesting. Yeah, there it is there. And and then the other part of it is that all the drums except the bass drum are actually upside down.
Yeah,
so you can see the cymbals, how they're going up like this.
Which seems crazy at first, then makes total sense, then starts seeming crazy again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then in the end makes total sense.
Exactly.
In the end, yeah.
I guess the thing that immediately jumps out at me is, and I'm sure there's a scientific reason for this, is why isn't the bass drum also pointing down? Why can't you?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, he could still have the 6-foot pedal.
Yeah.
But it would just because I mean the same. Well, is it because it's a bass drum? I mean, in other words, are the toms and whatever the hell those other drums are called? Is that what are the drums called?
Toms.
Yeah, toms. Yeah.
So that makes sense because they're kind of like, so the tops are pointed down, so then the sound goes out into the air, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea. But is the bass drum pointed down because the bass is like, a lower register and it needs to be like, sort of like how you put a subwoofer on the ground? Same concept?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really just, we thought that made sense, like how it was.
Yeah.
Scientifically, we thought it made sense.
Yeah, so we're not just here to change a bunch of stuff for no reason. It's like if something makes sense, we're going to keep it. So
Joel, are you using for the long drumsticks, do you have some sort of like fulcrum or lever or something kind of scenario, or you know what I mean, or is it just?
Oh no, it's just.
Are you just
wrist,
really all wrist? That's got to take some strong wrists.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lighter wood.
Yeah,
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Balsa wood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, also too, the sticks are necessary because I'm so far back on the stage, but also half the drum sound is actually the reverberation of the sticks.
On the sticks, yeah.
So longer the stick, the more sound you get.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, that seems like a great idea, and I also like the fact that the guitarist and the bassist are kind of relegated to the sides.
Yeah, well, we thought.
I'm not a big fan of either of those instruments personally.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so
it's not all about.
To be honest with you, I could take or leave drums.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, it's not all about. It's always all about the guitarist and the bassist.
Right.
They're always up front. Like in that first image, you can see they're right there, center stage, right up front. But here, we're like, okay, let the drums shine.
I guess my argument would be, why can't it just be nobody? Let nobody shine. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of where I'm at with live music these days.
Okay.
I'd almost prefer not to see the band.
Okay.
I mean, I guess, push comes to shove, I don't really give a shit if they play or not. Mm-hmm. But if they do play, I want them behind the curtains. I don't know if that's.
Well, you'd actually want the curtains to be shut.
Yeah, right. Shut with them behind them.
Amps.
Yeah.
And, well, you could do that with this kit and the amp.
I don't mind if the amps are in front of the curtains, just as long as the curtains are shut and the band is behind the curtains.
You could have a curtain in front of.
Well, maybe two curtains.
Or 3 curtains, a curtain in front of the drummer and a curtain in front
of just individual curtains. But yeah, I honestly,
I'd just be worried about sound deadening, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. That makes sense, but.
We're talking theater gauge curtains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those. I think those are.
Yeah, David Lynch gauge.
Yeah.
But.
Light blocking?
Light block. I don't want to see him. I'm sick of looking at musicians, to be honest, totally honest with you. I'm done with them. That's just a personal thing. Yeah. I think you guys covered my 2 questions I had about that.
Okay.
Like it, love the idea. Love that musicians. I do like the fact that the drummer is kind of like, while I would prefer none of them be visible.
Yeah.
I do like drummers out front. I think. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they used to.
Back in the jazz times, back when they used to play jazz, I think didn't the drummers used to be out front?
Oh, did they? I don't know. I was gonna say I didn't think they had the technology to be out front. They didn't like that kick pedal or whatever. You couldn't make it that long, but now with alloys and stuff like that, you can do this. But I think it wasn't possible to do this in the past or have drumsticks that long. You couldn't put the drums upside down in the front of the stage because they didn't make sticks.
So what is that like? You're so far away with the drumsticks, and then you're hitting. They're flipped upside down, so you're kind of like. Can you show me the motion of what like that would look like? Like.
It's just.
What are you doing with your hands?
It's what the normal thing a drummer would do, except upside down, I guess. Just
so it's like
flipped.
I guess. Like this.
Like this.
It's like.
Yeah, instead of going like that, you're going like that.
Yeah, instead of going like this, you're going
up
like this.
Yeah.
Which is really the same thing. It's just you're hitting it on the
It's not any harder to go up than it is down. Your wrist goes both ways.
Yeah, that's true. No, I guess it's harder to go up, right? Isn't it? Because you're going against gravity. Maybe actually.
But you'd be bouncing off you get an assist.
Really, when you think about it, though, the ideal position for a drummer should be. They shouldn't be upside down. The drummer should be on his back, because then he could just point this drumstick straight up in the air,
and let gravity
just kind of flick it and let gravity
bounce it back.
Yeah, and that way he's not lifting up anything on the way up, so he's just kind of keeping it, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not suggesting that that's not scientifically sound. I'm just suggesting that maybe there's another
interesting theory. I guess.
Way to so the drum then in that case wouldn't be pointed down. It would be the empty part of the drum would be pointed towards the audience.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to be on your back. I guess you just have the drums up 10 feet in the air.
Well,
with your 6-foot sticks, you could just have them out in front of the stage, and you could.
And then the sound would go down. Like above the audience, the drums could actually be above the audience.
Right, and then because sound sound goes down, right, over time. Is that
yeah.
what it was? So it's like a kind of like a bullet.
Yep.
So it would go down over the audience then.
Well, this is still a work in progress. This
Yeah.
is just where
No,
we're
I like
at.
it.
Yeah, this is just where we're at. But yeah, if we can always edit this and
Yeah, no,
maybe in the next issue we'll have an update.
I think maybe it probably depends too on like what kind of venue you're in, you know, and what kind of music you play, I guess. Then what do you think? What kind of music is this? Was this ideal? I mean, does anything, any kind?
I think it can work with anything.
It'd be tough. You know, I wonder, like, does that extend to the other musicians too? Because I mean, when you think about it, because I'm trying to think, because you technically the easiest way to play a guitar would be like this, right? Because you're not struggling as much against gravity as you would be here. I can feel it in my arm as I do that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
So kind of like a cello.
Yeah, kinda.
So instead of doing this with like a cello,
yeah, you put it up on your
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you guys want to have a chat, or you could read the next page, or I'll try and be quick.
Yeah, I'll read this next one because I actually think this is a good idea.
I like this one too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me move this stuff out of the way.
Yeah, squeeze it up. All right. Do you want me to bring the coffee down?
You could, yeah. I think I took the thermos up there,
up
so
there?
yeah.
Cool.
You do have to
Okay.
take the lid off to put the coffee into the thermos, so.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll give that a shot.
Okay, so this is a good idea. This is under psychology, and it's "Make a Coworker Like You" by William Gorham, PhD. And it says this. It says, "Do you have that one coworker who you'd like to get to know, who you'd like to get romantically involved with, but don't know how to break the ice, or who you got off on the wrong foot with and would like to make amends? I have the solution, which is to hack into their MyFitnessPal app." I've never heard of this app before, but I think this is a really good idea. These days, everyone is tracking calories, he says. The coworker in question is most likely tracking their calories in an app called MyFitnessPal. If you are not familiar, it's an app where you can enter all the foods you eat in a day, and it will tell you how many calories you are consuming. Whatever your goal is, it's a helpful tool in maintaining, losing, or gaining weight. That's true. I recently discovered a way to hack into my coworkers' MyFitnessPal account to see what they were eating. I used this as a way to get them to like me after we got off on the wrong foot. I became their savior. I found out what their favorite snack was through the MyFitnessPal app, and also found out what grocery store they went to. I then went to their grocery store and bought up all of their favorite snacks, so the next time they went to buy it, the shelves were empty. That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Very smart. A few days later, I asked them, "Hey, have you ever tried veggie chips?" They told me how they love veggie chips, but their store and all the surrounding stores have been out of stock recently, which I already knew. I said, "Hey, I've actually got a couple bags of veggie chips. I made up a story. My uncle gave them to me if you want them. He received them as a free gift from an online grocery food service. It's totally believable. That happens. He doesn't like them, so he gave them to me. If you want them, just let me know." "Really? I'd appreciate that if you wouldn't mind," they replied. "Not at all. I'll bring them in tomorrow." I brought them in the next day, and my coworker was over the moon. By using this psychological hack, you can get into your coworker's good graces. I love that idea.
I do.
It's smart. It shows what's the word I'm looking for? Ingenuity, I think, and it's also I think a good way to get to know your coworkers. I have no interest in getting to know mine, but I mean, in general, if you work at a place, have you ever had any interest in getting to know any of your coworkers?
I mean, I guess I've had interest in getting to know them until I got to know them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish I hadn't have been interested.
Or like, yeah, I've been interested in getting to know what's wrong with them.
Right.
Or like
yeah.
how why they are the way they are.
Right.
But not really know them.
Well, I'm a little more of an optimist. Like, oh, this person seems interesting. You know,
Right.
I'd like to get to know them better than I do. And I think, well, I really wish I wouldn't have done that.
I mean, I'm trying to think of, I mean, I think that extends.
Yeah, I guess it's
you can pretty much extend that to everybody. This one I'm not familiar with. Oh yeah, I know. I remember this. I know this one about this. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it makes it. I'll sum up the point, and this is a good point. You ever think about how lazy customers are? You know, just like if you've ever worked in the service industry, and they don't do anything. You know?
Yeah.
You're working, and they're just there, and it's.
And they have these expectations on top of that. You know, it's like it's one thing to not do anything, but then to not do anything and expect something in return.
Not only not do anything, but they'll leave. Like you think of like a grocery store. They'll leave leave their cart just someplace or whatever. They don't do anything.
Actively make things worse.
Yeah, or like put my not favorite. I hate this, but when they put something back in the wrong place.
Right. Yeah.
Like as if
They should be like at the library where it's like don't reshelve.
Yeah.
Anything if you take it off.
Or like in the library, there should be a cart where you can put stuff that you're returning that you don't want back by, and you could like the library, you could organize it by PLU code or whatever that is. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's sort of
return cart.
It's
could
the
be
food version of the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the SKU.
Yeah, that's how it's pronounced.
Actually, that would be the way to organize a store.
Yeah, we were just talking about how we agree with this about how customers are just so lazy these days.
They're so lazy, yeah.
And it's bullshit.
I mean, they
I don't know how they can stand, like you say, like John. I don't know this person, John Thamsman.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand how somebody can like watch you busting your ass.
Yeah.
And not like just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah. It's really unbelievable, and I completely agree with it as well. I mean, they're lazy. They just come in, take stuff off the shelves, without a care in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's like It's all about them.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about them.
Of course.
And you have work to do. Yeah, and they're asking you questions, and yeah.
Yeah, we've got work to do, and they come up, oh, you know, do you have this? Do you have that? It's like we have that every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like learn a thing or two about the store before coming in.
Do your research.
Yeah. You know, scope out the place a little bit. You know, have a look before you ask dumb questions. I don't mean to be harsh.
It's okay.
I'm just saying, you know,
I
put
worked
in some effort.
at a hot dog restaurant when I was in college, and a woman came in and asked me if we served any drinks without ice in them.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember in the same place, we were about 5 minutes from closing, and this group of like 25 frat guys wanted to come in. We're like, no, you're not coming in here. And he said something like, well, think about all the money you'll make. And I think he actually believed that.
Like you get a commission or something?
Yeah, like I think he thought that's how jobs worked. Yeah. But, yeah, they're just so lazy and stupid.
Yeah.
They're terrible people. I mean, let's face it.
And sometimes you get a good one. Very occasionally.
Yeah.
You get a good one, but it's not very often.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I had somebody came in one time at a restaurant I worked in, and said they liked the shirt I was wearing.
Okay.
That was a good
That's nice.
customer.
Yeah.
I worked at a grocery store, and one of my first days. I ran someone through, and then the next woman in line came, and I ran her through, and everything seemed fine. And then I look over, and the second woman was like over at the customer service desk, pointing at me, and thought that seemed strange. And then my manager came over and said, that woman said that she said that you forgot to ring the dog food. Someone had dog food on the bottom of their cart. You know how you don't have to take it out; you can just plug in the number.
Mm.
And she said she told me that, and I said, "Oh, I don't care." And I had absolutely no recollection of that happening or ever. And then it scared me because like maybe I did do that, and because I didn't remember her saying anything to me, so I barely remember her going through the line.
I think it's a much more likely chance that she's just a crazy person.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So something I don't know, but anyway, that's my sort of remembering customers. That's the one that always comes to mind.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say like in all my experience of like either in like customer service jobs or restaurant jobs or whatever, just meeting strangers in general. I would say like if I had to guess, if I had to put a number on it, I would say 85% of human beings are insane.
Mm.
Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, I was just thinking
like
about
have
this today.
Like pretty serious mental problems, like 85%.
Yeah, I was having these thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was just thinking how every time I go to like a concert or a sporting event, I always feel like I'm sitting by the biggest idiot in the stadium.
Yeah.
But I think it's just
they're just
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I went to a minor league baseball game in Arizona, and like one row behind me was this like college age girl who was talking about all the books she was reading and the plays and stuff.
God.
And she was saying like, oh, we just read like King Lear. There's so much symbolism in that, and there's lots of deeper meanings of things. And she talked about like 5 books that she'd read, and she said basically the same things over and over again about symbolism, but never said anything more about any of that stuff. And I just like it just
probably
drove me nuts.
It
ruined it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing in the world that can ruin something faster than me sitting or being next to somebody
like
at
talking
a public
about
event.
Symbolism or something. Yeah.
I can I'm really good at, and I always have been good at spotting. Like if I go into a room or like a party or something like that, like my first instinct is, okay, who do I not want to be around?
Yeah.
Like who do I, and I mean, there's a lot of tells. I mean, it's loud talking, that sort of thing. Talking loudly about like certainly about like book like stuff you've read. Its symbolism is a bad.
I think it's weird though, because I think when I go to a party, I always end up getting stuck talking to those people, but I don't mind it actually. I think it's when I'm sort of in a little bit of control of the conversation, I kind of can enjoy that. But when someone's sitting behind me that I'm not involved with, it's sort of like you hear someone talking on the phone, you only hear one side of the conversation. It drives you nuts. But if they were two people talking to each other, it wouldn't bother you. But yeah, right. Oh god, there's the dumb people, and then there's like the know-it-alls, and they're just.
So the know-it-alls you can always tell because their voice is always higher than everyone else.
Yeah. I was at a concert, and I think they're talking about Husker Du or Bob Mould, and someone said, "Oh, where's he from?" And one guy said Twin Cities or Minneapolis or whatever. Another guy says, "No, he's from upstate New York." It's like, yeah, I think he was there to maybe junior high, but his music and all that stuff was all done in the Twin Cities. But this guy had to chime in and say Bob Mould's not from the Twin Cities. He's from, this is where he went to middle school.
Right.
And then I just, then I can't stop listening to that guy, and it ruins the show for me. So.
I feel like Bob Mould may have developed that kind of fan base a little bit, though.
That's true. I guess he's probably partially to blame for that. So that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Kind of, but I wasn't at a Bob Mould concert, so it's like I shouldn't have to. Anyway, sorry. Go off.
No, that's okay. That's yeah.
But I think it's, I mean, at least 1/3 of my experience is like, you say 85%. I say at a minimum it's a third, because the 3 sides or 4 sides of you, there's always an idiot around you, no matter where you go.
Interesting, and we've come full circle. Remember we were talking about the
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Not right now, of course.
No.
No.
No,
Right.
but generally when you're out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just random sampling.
Yeah.
This rock music session is pretty interesting. I'm not going to attempt to describe the casino poster here. You're just going to have to see it for yourself. But it's
Should I put it on the screen?
yeah, sure. This is actually for a casino up near where I live in northern Michigan. And I was pretty surprised to see it. I didn't know a lot of these guys were still around, but apparently they're around and they're pretty pissed off. So it's gonna be should be an interesting show.
Who we got here?
It's I mean it sounds kind of avant-garde. It can be an interesting call. Like it says here, a stringent cocktail of all their hits. So that should be interesting.
So it's at the Mountain Sands Coliseum and Casino Resort?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's actually, I think that might be wrong, because I think it's Mountain Sands Coliseum and Island Casino Resort.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I don't know if they made a typo on that, but you can see they have free coat check, hot passes. But I think the thing I really want to talk about here is this Steely pedal-pedic ergonomic guitar.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this picture and
now, is this an article or is it an advertisement?
well, that's a good question. Kind of looks like at the beginning or at the end they have like a no, because it says that's got an official quote from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. I guess I don't really I guess it's an interesting concept. I just don't know if I.
Well, it must be an ad because here's it. Order in the next 20
ad.
minutes and get a free
okay.
Oh, gotcha.
pedal stool.
Yeah.
But I would say probably the main reason that I don't play steel guitar is because it's so painful. Just to
Right, it's
you're
an
hunching
unnatural.
over that. Yeah.
It's an unnatural position.
You see
your
pictures
wrists.
of some people. Like actually, I think playing like guitars in general is really painful.
Mm-hmm.
Like you ever see like Stevie Ray Vaughan play or something? He looks like he's there's something wrong with his. Looks like he's in pain or something I don't know if that hurts their fingers or what, but the entire enterprise seems really painful. It's certainly painful to listen to most times.
Do you think it's worth reading this out loud or just sort of discussing
I think it's
it in
worth
general?
reading it out loud.
Yeah,
definitely.
Should I read it or someone else
please,
wants to?
no,
All right.
please do.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, this is a Steely pedal-pedic ergonomic guitar. The solution to all your arm, wrist, and shoulder pain. Trademark. So, do you spend more than 20 hours per week hunched over your traditional pedal steel, hunting and pecking at those strings? Are you experiencing alternating pain, tingling, or numbness in your thumb or your fingers? Does it sometimes move up your forearm? Do your hands feel weak when you try to grasp something? The problem with traditional or flat pedal steels is they don't position your hands, wrists, and arms in their natural positions and cause pressure and stress, which is commonly referred to as pronation in ergonomics, on those parts of your body. Playing hours a day, day after day on a traditional pedal steel is going to cause pain, discomfort, and damage, and ultimately, you're going to play less efficiently. To put it simply, the human body is not equipped to tolerate the stresses of playing a traditional flat pedal steel. If you're not in pain now, you soon will be. Enter the Steely pedal-pedic, the perfect blend of ergonomics and luthierism. It has a more spread out and concave design than a traditional flat pedal steel. It allows your wrists to rest outward instead of forcing you to turn them inward like a traditional pedal steel. The result is that it positions your body in a more natural position and therefore doesn't cause as much pronation. Without sacrificing sound quality and playability. Studies have found that the Steely pedal-pedic usually relieves tingling and numbness and restores wrist and hand function. For most people, their biggest apprehension to getting an ergonomic pedal steel is that it's going to feel unnatural. But that's also the point. But while this is going to feel unnatural at first, I can tell you that your body will actually adjust quite quickly. After researching and testing the top ergonomic pedal steels, I chose the Steely pedal-pedic, and it gets my full endorsement. It has all the important ergonomic elements I look for, and it's also just satisfying to play. The Steely pedal-pedic is designed with comfort and efficiency in mind. In other words, it's built to withstand long periods of use without causing major discomfort to you. I've been playing the Steely Pedalpedic since 1989, and my wrists, arms, and shoulders have never felt better. I never thought I'd be able to play racquetball again. Jerry Garcia. And the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons says it has beautiful tone and even better ergonomics. 5 stars by the AAOS.
And there's also, I don't know, you see there on the TV screen, but there's you order, as you state, order in the next 20 minutes and you receive that free pedestal. It says you only pay S&H. What does that stand for?
Shipping and handling.
Okay.
Yeah, you see Jerry sitting on a.
He is. It makes me think, it looks really comfortable, but it
strikes as your core.
It's good for your core. I feel like, I feel like that thing would need to be. I mean, there's only he can use that, right? Because I feel like if multiple people using that, I don't know, like what. Seems like it would need to be disinfected, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's personal to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Looks like a recent picture of Jerry Garcia too.
Yep. Yeah, he's been using.
Which is looking better.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this thing really is working.
His posture's nice.
Yeah.
How straight he's sitting up.
Yeah. I wish that music wasn't so awful.
Tie-dyed amp there. But yeah, there's
yeah, I didn't even notice that. The tie-dyed amp. I wonder how you do that.
I don't know. But yeah, it looks a little funny, but
we're still in the rock section. Well, you got a big rock music section in this issue.
Yeah, we love rock music at the Hollywood Hogs, so.
Yeah. Did you want to save this interview for?
Well, sorry, I just spilled some coffee on the table.
Oh, I need some more coffee, by the way.
I didn't get it.
By the way, starting to have to urinate a little bit.
Starting to feel good. What's a good sign, I guess.
I hope.
Alright, here you go.
Thanks. Did you take the top off when you did this?
I think it's back on, so I think unscrew it a little bit. I guess you only have to unscrew it a little.
So why would you not? Oh, because you're afraid of getting.
Well, heat out and contaminants in.
Yeah, I guess. I'm gonna. Do you mind if I do it the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't.
Okay, well.
All right.
Now it's probably lost 5 degrees.
I don't know. I
mean, iced coffee is nice, so.
Yeah. How's the puzzle coming?
I have tried a few pieces and I haven't got one to fit yet, but a couple of them look close.
Yeah, some of them are similar colors.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yep.
Some of them are yellow and some of them are blue.
And there's blue lines.
Yeah, some have lines in them.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I've been looking at finding the ones that have the lines in them and trying to line those up.
There's something in this next section. Did you want to read anything from here?
I might just read.
Oh, of course.
The
yes.
venues. So Jane Wiseman, we did a full 2-page interview here. With this artist.
And if you haven't heard her music yet, I would highly recommend it.
It's pretty cool.
The 2 songs that are mentioned in this, I think there's 2. When I Lived in the Mountains, which is a great song, by the way, and Hooked on Luxury are both really good. And you should check that out.
Yeah, it's kind of unique and different, and I really like the music.
Yeah.
And there's just some dates here for shows that Jane Wiseman is performing on these dates, so I thought I'd just read those out. So she says, I have a few shows coming up in LA. I'm playing at the Gentleman's Rat Hole on December 10th, Denler's Disco December 11th, the Yellow Water Club on December 12th, Madison Circle Garden on December 13th, Gringo's Heaven on 14th of December, the East Fish West Fish Bar on December 15th, and then the Coffee Hole on December 20th, John's Alcohol Experience on January 2nd, 2024, that should say, and Jacob's Jam and Preserves Bar and Grill January 12th and 13th, as well as Tina's Little Yeast House on January 15th and the Black Ball on January 16th. She says she'll also be playing a house party too. Date to TBD. So.
Boy, I'd like to check out that show at Tina's Little Yeast House.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if anyone out there watching can make any of those shows, that would be good for Jane. So.
Oh, this next section is very intriguing as well. We're really getting into the meat of this. We don't have to go through all these punishments, but there is a punishment section.
Yeah, there is a punishment section. So, I'm gonna just read the first.
These are all really good ones.
I'm just gonna read the first intro to this.
Yeah.
Just so we can get a good idea of what's going on. So, calling all politicians, it's time to get off your butts and actually do something useful. There are people in this world who need to be punished, and right now the consequences for their actions don't fit the bill. I have more appropriate punishment ideas for these situations. Being unruly on an aeroplane, overdrawing your bank account, wearing clashing colors, embezzlement, and making me wait. So.
Yeah, I mean, let's see those bozos in Congress do something about this.
Actually do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this idea for unruly airplane passengers is one of the best things I've heard in a long time.
Okay.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. So should I?
Yes.
Should we just talk about it, or yeah, I might just describe it instead of reading.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Go ahead and describe it, because I'd like a picture painted according to what you have envisioned in your mind.
Yeah. So.
I'll compare it to what I have envisioned in mine.
Yeah, so we've all seen videos of people online being unruly on airplanes. There was that lady who said, you know,
I'm not real.
Yeah, she said that guy in the back's not real.
Right.
There was her, and there was another one who said, "I'm Instagram famous, you bum." Do you remember that one?
I don't.
Okay, that's a good one, but yeah, she got escorted off the plane as well. But people not wearing masks when they're told to and stuff like that, and getting kicked off the airplane basically for being unruly and not following the rules. So my thought is that by kicking them off the plane, you're delaying that flight for all the other passengers. You have to wait for security to get there. Then you have to wait for them to actually be escorted off.
Essentially.
They win because they've affected this flight
right.
for everyone else. So my thought is just say, all right, you're being unruly. What we're going to do is we're going to take the back off your seat. So you have to sit like this the whole flight, hunched forward. Like I'm trying to do it for the camera, but sitting like this, hunched forward the whole flight.
Right.
Which would be really uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
I mean, imagine sitting on a bar stool, say,
yeah.
for a 15-hour flight.
Yeah.
It's not going to be comfortable. So I think take the back off their seat. So they have to sit like that for the whole flight, and that way they don't get escorted off. The flight isn't delayed. It's like, right, we're just gonna take the back off your seat.
Right.
Put it in the back, and that's that.
So are they take the back off, and they're just not allowed to move from there? Is that how it works?
Yeah, they have to sit there like that. I mean, they can get up and go to the bathroom if they want, but then they have to sit back down.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like I'm just wondering if, like, let's say they refuse to do that. I mean, can you strap them into that, or is it?
Well, if they refuse to sit there.
Yeah, like if you rip the back of the seat off and then they don't want to do it.
Well, by that time, they can't get off the plane because the doors are shut. Like the plane is sealed, so they can't go anywhere anyway.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I mean,
so lock them in, and then take the back off, so that their only choice is to sit there. They can't do anything else.
God, I'm trying to imagine what that would be like sitting in a. That seems like appropriate punishment though for.
It would be really uncomfortable.
Yeah. You know what I like? I like having conversations with people on planes about where they're from and how it's different from the place that we are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never get tired of talking about that.
Yeah.
They don't have so and so and so and so.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm always, I much of that kind of information that I can get fed. I'm all
You
for
love
it.
it.
I love
Yeah.
it. I want to know.
What kind of snacks they eat there and
Right,
things like that.
right.
Yeah.
Like they don't, they where I'm from, they boil peanuts.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
that sort of thing. And um, where I'm from, there are we don't have semaphore at the airports. You know. Speaking of which, maybe it's time for a new plane language. What do you think about that? Is semaphore getting stale? You know?
Okay.
This stuff, the flashlights, semaphore. That's what semaphore is, right? Or is that the flags?
I thought you were talking about a store in the. There's not a store called. I thought there was a store in the airport called Semaphore that they sold like.
That would be a good idea. Actually, what would be a great idea is a bar in an airport called Semaphores. I mean, it doesn't have to be spelled funny,
Right,
but just
yeah.
just the idea. Has anyone done that yet?
I thought they did because I thought that's what you were talking about.
No.
But maybe not. They haven't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Right.
That's well, maybe we should write that down. But there's a maybe there's a market for a new plane language, a new plane parking language.
Yeah, it's sort of
like kind of a like more of a something more universal, like an Esperanto for planes.
Right.
Because as it is now, does everybody, is the semaphore the same in every country? Does it, I mean, like if you're using, do the flags change?
I
You know
don't
what I
know.
mean?
I'm not sure, but it's either way, it's exclusionary. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Semaphore should be sort of intuitive.
Yeah.
Like anybody should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And the language should be you should back into it rather than saying this is what this means. It should be.
Although now that I think about it, usually I'm thinking about the times that I've seen people directing planes, and all they're really doing is just like
right.
Literally doing that. It's not like they're really speaking any kind of intricate language or anything. I know when they stopped using flags and started using those yellow things or orange things,
or the flashlights with the orange cones on top. Yeah.
Right. And have we lost something now that they don't use flags anymore? You know.
I think we always do.
Yeah, it's happens. Like part of our past is erased.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I have a thought. What if instead of doing this, they use actual sign language, and then there can be a huge magnifying glass in front of their hands, so the people far away can see what they're doing. So it's what they're doing here is expanded to like this big.
Yeah.
So then you could use sign language.
Yeah,
which a lot of people already know. So
right.
you could hire it would be job creation for people who know sign language.
And it would be right. And it would be pretty easy to learn the sign language that you would need to learn, because all you're saying is like back up, go left, go right.
Yeah.
It's not
that.
Right.
And if you had the magnifying glass, you could only need one person at the whole airport could direct all the planes from a distance with a magnifying glass.
Right. Yeah.
You wouldn't need a bunch of people flying people around. If it was big enough, you could just have one person.
It's just an idea. I don't know. Worth suggesting to these airports.
Next time one of us flies.
Yeah, they love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
They do.
Like maybe the person when you're getting on the plane, the person checking tickets, like just tell them about it.
Yeah.
And see what they say.
Say, I think, I don't think semaphore's cutting it anymore.
Right. I'm sure they'll agree with you.
Yeah. They probably aren't allowed to say that.
I said too scared to.
Yeah.
Too scared to.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I just thought of that like 5 minutes ago. But the more I think about it,
right,
the more sense it makes. The more,
And that's a sign of a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to think, like, I'm trying to remember if when I was a kid they still used flags, those flags. But if they did, wasn't there like some sort of like patterns on the flags that meant something or something like that?
I'm trying to think if that's maybe, is there a ship semaphore?
Maybe
like,
that's what I'm thinking of. Is that the thing where you flip the lights go
yeah,
like that?
maybe.
You know what I'm talking about?
That
you know what
too,
I'm talking
yeah.
about?
I think so.
Like the lights, you know, they flash the lights. One means like, high friendly ship or whatever.
Yeah.
One means like we're pirates, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think there are ships have flags with different shapes on them that mean things. But those might be different than airplanes.
I don't know. Well, is there anything else from the punishment section you want to talk about?
Well, I really like the overdrawn bank accounts one. I don't know if you've read that.
Oh yes, of course.
But
this is another great idea.
Yeah. This one is based on when I overdrew my bank account, and they punished me by just taking more money out of my bank account, which I thought didn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why would you charge someone money?
Yeah.
Because they have no money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't make any sense to me. So I thought, what would an appropriate punishment be for someone who has overdrawn their bank account to replace fees, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, what if you take away their card so they can't spend money anymore because their problem is spending too much money.
Yeah.
So you take away their card and you give them a new debit card or credit card. You give them a new debit card that is like A4 size.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this big, and it's so big that first of all you can't even carry it around.
It won't even go. You can't put it into anything.
You can't put it in. I mean, you could swipe it, I guess.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up.
You could sort of go like that.
Right, or maybe you could just make it not necessarily A4 size, but just lengthen the card, like laterally or whatever they call it.
So you'd have to
in order
reel
to
it.
you'd almost have to like start pulling at it.
Yeah.
To like
to
swipe it.
That, yeah.
And how many you think about where you put those cards, like not a lot of places are going to even have the room to do that, so that's going to save you money just by virtue of the fact that you won't be able to buy anything.
Yeah, you go in there and they see that and say, sorry, we can't accept that card. We don't accept cards longer than 16 inches or something like that. Or I don't know how big A4 is, but yeah.
Yeah. But also just the embarrassment factor.
Mm-hmm.
So having to pull that massive card out at a coffee shop, say, and having everyone looking at you,
knowing that
they got in trouble for overdrawing their bank account. That's why. So there's just the embarrassment factor alone would deter people from using their card.
Yeah.
But the other thing you're probably thinking of is, well, what about at home? What about on their computer?
Yeah.
They can still use their card to buy whatever they want online. They're still going to be spending money because they're at home in the privacy of their own home. They don't mind taking their massive card out. So what you do is you make the card number so long that it's almost untypable. To type into the computer.
Too many numbers.
It's so many numbers that you'd be sitting there for an hour trying to enter this number, and you'd get one wrong, and you'd have to start again. And
could you make it was it called an irrational fraction or something like that?
Or like
repeating. Like you can make it like 9. Your card number could be 9 over 11 or something like that.
Like a weird number or something like that. Is that what they call it? Like, do you know anything about math?
Not really.
Me neither.
Just the basics.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if your card number was 9
stuff like that.
divided by 11, like you just type, what is that, 0.090909 or something like that, where you'd never be able to type it in.
Right. Never forget.
Yeah, or like 3.33333.
Right, yeah, 3 1/3 or something like that. Yeah, right.
Something like that. So just something untypable, so they can't use it at home either.
Yeah.
So I personally think that would be better than just saying, hey, that,
Yeah.
$70.
It's good because it saves it doesn't punish them monetarily, but in a way, it's almost a worse punishment.
Right.
Than
Well, that's what
but
I think.
It needs to be though. I think in order to for sure.
Because really the fees don't matter, because it's like, well, when my next check comes in, it's gonna be back up to zero anyway. So yeah, I lost $70, but really it's not a real punishment, because it's like when my next check comes in, it's
almost like it didn't happen.
It's like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So where's the punishment? Like,
right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, once you get the money into the account to clear that negative balance, it's like it wasn't even there to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
You just forget about it.
Yeah. I don't think we need to speak on the other punishments.
Well, we definitely need to speak on this technology.
Oh, the technology section.
The hog dollar.
Yeah, the hog dollar. So
I know a lot of but a lot of people. Just to preface this, I mean, obviously, a lot of people are getting into crypto, and I know this might be kind of old hat to people, but this is something different.
It's unique.
It is.
Yeah. So we've been talking about this for years. We've been talking about ever since Bitcoin came on the scene. We've been talking about making a hog dollar. Making a Hollywood hog cryptocurrency, and this is it. So this is the plan, basically. So the co-founders are working on a Hollywood Hogs cryptocurrency called the Hollywood Hog Coin, Hog Coin for short. We plan on this cryptocurrency taking over the market within the next few years. Very soon, everyone will be using Hog Coin. Why is Hog Coin going to take over? Because it's unique. Hog Coin will be made up of physical coins and notes, just like regular money. But here's how it's different. So, and then we go on to explain how it's different from other cryptocurrencies, because with Bitcoin, you're looking at numbers on a screen, and is it even real? Is Bitcoin real?
Right.
Is the question you have to ask. Well, I don't know.
I don't either.
I see numbers on my screen right now. Are they real?
Yeah, I don't know.
So let alone with something like Bitcoin, is it even real? I don't know. So we're making a tangible Bitcoin, which has never been done before.
It's like a physical currency.
It's a physical currency which hasn't been done for, because we're all so used to Bitcoin now that we've forgotten what it's like to hold, say, $1,000.
What would it look like?
Well, the hog coins will be made of gold, basically. So, and then
it's gonna be it's on the gold standard then, backed by gold.
Yeah. So, and then the notes, the hog coin notes, will be made of pieces of used motorcycle tire. So we're actually recycling.
So what are the denominations?
So each 1, 2, 50, 100, 250, 500, and 1,000 hog coin coins will be made of pure gold.
So they're different sizes then, or they
I think there'll be different sizes.
Yeah.
I think the higher the bigger the coin, the more
right.
it's worth.
That makes sense if they're made. Yeah.
So maybe $1 coin will be, say, this big. $2, $50.
Twice as big.
But it's just these denominations though that are gold. The 1, 2, 50, and then
so you got a $250 coin, which might be this big, but then the $1,000 coin might be this big.
4 times as big.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then each 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160, 165, 170, 175, 180, 185, 190, 195, 200, 205, 210, 215, 220, 225, 230, 235, 240, 245, 250, 255, 260, 265, 270, 275, 280, 285, 290, 295, 300, 305, 310, and so on. Hog coin notes will be made of thin pieces of used motorcycle tire.
Mm-hmm.
So what we plan to do is take used motorcycle tires and flatten them out, completely flatten them out. So they're maybe this thick. So each note will be about this thick.
Okay.
If you can see on the camera, about that.
About a little bit over an inch, maybe.
Yeah, a little over an inch thick. That'll be each note. So let's just say you're gonna need a big wallet, but you know, we're working on it.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe Joel, maybe you could help out with the used tires. I know you like to collect those.
Oh, I used.
Is that still
that
over
one.
here?
No, I think I used it. I used it to.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, Joel's got quite a collection of used tires.
As long as they're not car tires, we can talk.
Yeah, they're bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And bicycles are basically hogs,
sort
more
of like
portable.
What do you call that? Like
deneutered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, This isn't. Wait a minute. What is denatured? Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because deneutered, I mean, that's like it's like the opposite of.
Yeah, like you
unneutered somebody. Yeah, I'm all in. I mean, you just let me know how much you need.
So it's like a physical cryptocurrency.
It's a physical cryptocurrency,
right.
which has never been done. It's
right.
never been done. Yeah, and it just says here, remember, be gentle with the hog coin notes as they are made out of used motorcycle tire and are extremely fragile.
Right.
So
and I'm sure
you just have to be careful.
Right, and I'm sure the reason that they're fragile is because they're, probably came from maybe like a blown out tire or something like that.
Yeah.
They've been used a lot. If it's used, yeah.
Yeah, so you just have to be really gentle when handling them. But that's the only thing.
That sounds like a better, like the best of both worlds.
All the benefits of crypto without the drawbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's for people who love crypto. It's for them. People who don't like crypto, it's also for them because there is physical currency as well. So.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, Chet Atkins diet. Everyone knows the Chet Atkins diet.
Yes.
Lose weight using the finger picking method.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of eating 3 high-calorie meals a day, the Chet Atkins diet has participants finger-picking at small meals throughout the day, assuring they never feel hungry. So we all know about the Chet Atkins diet. That's been researched by, as you can see on the next page, the WMP, NESM, CENES, MENET, for a few years now. So that's just an advertisement for just saying that the Hollywood Hogs support the Chet Atkins diet, and
I love I love that tagline because it really kind of brings thing to a point that you donate now to not suffer later.
Yeah.
So true too.
Yeah, it's true. And as you can see, Chet's there with his guitar and he's got some bruschetta pieces of bruschetta on his plate. So it's just smaller meals. It's smaller.
I gotta say, I did not notice that bruschetta on there.
Yeah. And some water as well. So always drink water.
Are we entirely sure that's bruschetta?
It is bruschetta.
It looks like it's got something green on top of it. Like, is that some sort of?
Might be parsley.
Oh, or basil. No, basil. Yeah, of course, yeah. Right. That's something to think about.
Yeah, it is something to think about.
But yeah, Cheddar's nice and trim.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and this ties back into the ideal body type. I mean, I use the Chet Atkins diet, and that's how I've got this body that everyone should be striving for.
Well, it obviously works.
Yeah, so it's a trick trick of the trade there.
Yeah.
Use the Chet Atkins diet.
Very intrigued by this Tupperware swap meet. I'm glad that I feel like you sort of we've fleshed out the classified section. I think it's feels like it's got, like, I think what happens is, like, once more people read it, more people start, buying ads. And what are you charging for the classified section, by the way? Do you charge anything for those ads?
We actually, we get so many submissions, and we just not to go back to the Chet Atkins diet, but we finger pick the best one that we want to put in there. So we just get literally thousands of submissions to say, I want to put this in the classifieds, and we just pick the ones that we think are most important. So it's not really a money thing. It's more what we think should be in there. Yeah. I'm glad
this Tupperware swap meet, I'm glad they started advertising so early. I mean, it's almost a year away, but good to get we should probably make sure we got our hotel reservations squared away for that, Joel.
Yeah.
But is there anything in particular that you're seeing there that jumps out at you that you might want to might be interested in, Joel?
Well,
I realize I just asked you a question. I'm immediately interrupting you. But one thing I am intrigued about is Tupperware games. I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not sure either. I don't know if they were prepackaged games you could buy or games that people invented that.
Like maybe you take the top off of a Tupperware thing, you try to throw a ping pong ball in or something like that.
Try and throw the lid back on.
Oh yeah, that'd be tough too. Yeah.
But I do have a few pieces where I'm missing the lids, or the lids have cracked, or the seal is broken.
That's where I'll be going to first. Is going to try and
remanufacture, refurb. I don't know do they have refurbished lids, factory seconds. Yeah, it looks like distressed.
I'd definitely trade some OIBs for some vintage lids because I need some. I've got a lot of newer, post 1990. Original in box Tupperware, but I've probably got 4 or 5 first wave Tupperware from the 60s.
That you can only get at parties at that point, or
yeah, you could only get. I don't think you could sell them anyplace else.
Right.
But I'm hoping that they have some vintage lids there. Because I'm coming in all guns a-blazing. I'm bringing my entire...
So you can have a table, do you think? Do you think you've been...
I thought about it, but, I've also heard that, like, at these Tupperware shows, most of the deals are made in the hotel rooms. You know what I mean? Like, the people staying there, like, and they're made outside of the actual, time.
Yeah.
Like, at night, they'll meet... Dealers will meet in the hotel rooms, and that's when the real stuff gets swapped. But, I've thought about it. I mean, I definitely have thought about getting a table. I've got, I don't know, probably over 500 pieces now, I would say. I'm really glad to see there's going to be a lost and found here because that is something that a lot of trade shows overlook.
Yeah.
They kind of put it on the hotel or the conference center to take care of that. And it's a bad idea for multiple reasons, but the biggest one being that no hotel is going to, if somebody loses something at a Tupperware swap meet, people are going to know what it is and whose it probably is. And the hotel doesn't know anything about that.
4 a.m. to 11 a.m. So that's the time.
Yeah. It's really golden hours for swap meeting.
Yeah.
Well, you do it, then you have the rest of your day.
Yeah, exactly.
Afterwards. So
right.
It's like...
And that you break for, probably you get dinner you get breakfast at 3 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
Say you eat lunch at 7, eat dinner at maybe right after you get out at noon. Then you're in bed by 2 and
get some rest before the next day.
Get some rest before the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do the video tour. I would imagine.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have maybe take a GoPro in there
Yeah.
and maybe do some. I'd love to see some profiles of some of the vendors.
Mm.
Yeah. It looks like they're on. It's in the Donkey Basketball Pavilion at the Dubuque County Fairgrounds, so that's plenty of space
Yeah.
For everybody, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm glad to see there's still. I mean, I think I imagine there's probably one in Wayne County someplace too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glad to see there's still donkey basketball pavilions around.
For
Yeah, I think it's
sure.
a new one too. I think that's been built in the last 5 years.
That's
so
great to see. It's
yeah.
like yeah. Do they have donkey basketball in Australia?
Oh god, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really warms my heart to hear that. I'm glad that is spread worldwide because it's.
It originated in the States, right? Didn't?
Yeah.
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 I mean, James was it Nesmith or whatever? He was from Canada.
Right.
They invented basketball, but I think donkey basketball was invented in the States.
Right.
Like independently, wasn't it?
I think. Yeah. No. I think. Yeah. It was totally independent. In fact, I think it was one of those situations like. Sort of like the AFL and the NFL or the ABA and the NBA, where there was like a two competing but similar ideas, and it was right around the same time too.
And I think you're starting to see like the Canadian basketball kind of took off, and the donkey basketball didn't really catch on as quick, but it's kind of arcing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know where it's going to end up, but I see a strong future in there.
Yeah, especially if they're building new donkey basketball pavilions. I didn't realize they were doing that, but I mean, I know Dubuque is in the middle of a renaissance right now, so I guess it's not surprising.
And this obviously this swap meet is not during donkey basketball regulation season or whatever, so the courts should be open.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the open house too. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what goes on there.
Mystery bags.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so they have a spin the wheel. Fizbo. That sounds like I don't know how they're gonna pack that in 2 days.
I don't know. And it makes me think they should have taken a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wonder what.
Yeah, I don't know what days are those. What's the 14th and 15th?
I wonder if, like I said, should we reserve our hotel rooms now?
I mean, it might be too. Well, I don't know if it might be too late, but we might have to get some hotel rooms in a neighboring city or something.
Yeah, maybe East Dubuque or something.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if we were to get a table, if we maybe get first crack at hotel rooms or something like that. Sometimes they do that.
Yeah,
I mean, I know this isn't associated with a hotel, but
they probably reserve a block.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, right? Yeah, because I know. I mean, I know some of these Tupperware swap meets. I've tried to reserve my hotel way too late, and they just laugh at you.
Yeah.
They
don't. When you call the hotel, they don't even have to like look up.
Yeah.
The date. They just say, we're full.
Right. Be nice if we reach a point where this is probably. I mean, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. This is probably pie in the sky talk, but if we reach a point where donkey basketball is that popular, that it's filling up filling up donkey basketball pavilions and hotels.
Yeah.
That would be great. I imagine that kind of future.
Yeah, I mean, and it creates stuff on top of just the game. It brings people into town and
it brings people together.
And,
It's good for kids too. I remember the first time I think I ever saw donkey basketball was when I was in junior high, and we had some of the teachers would play it.
Oh yeah.
and almost like without fail, every time we played a game, one of the teachers would like fall off and
Get
hit their head
trampled
or something.
Yeah,
kicked or fall in a pile of donkey shit or something like that. So that was nice.
Something
And,
for everybody.
Yeah, and it was fun. We had a good time back then. I mean, you couldn't. I mean, there was a time. Like I grew up in the western suburbs of Detroit, and there was a time where I think my city and just about every city bordering me had a donkey basketball pavilion.
Yep.
And that wasn't considered unusual.
No, yeah.
You'd see a donkey and you'd think your first reaction wouldn't be, oh, hey, it's a donkey. He's out, pulling a cart eating hay. It's like that's a donkey basketball player.
Right.
You just assume it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was not to. I was. I mean, we're still talking about donkeys, but like, I remember when I was a kid, it seemed like. And again, I didn't grow up in the country or anything like that. I grew up in the city pretty much, and it didn't seem like. It seemed like there was a lot of donkeys and mules around, even when I was a kid, like just kind of hanging out in people's yards and shit.
Really?
You know what I mean? Is that just where I grew up or something?
Well, I did see that, but I grew up in a slightly less urban area, but not that.
But it just seemed like there were still donkeys and mules
pets,
around.
Yeah, like you'd see.
And there was, and like they seemed to do more back then.
Right.
Like you see donkeys and mules nowadays, and they're not doing anything anymore.
Right.
They're not helping anything. They're certainly not playing basketball. But
kind of like the customers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
right.
Kind of like the customers. Yeah.
Right. But hopefully these new pavilions they're building are gonna. I think it does. It does point towards a growing interest in the sport.
I guess now that you mentioned hotels and stuff, you check the bay window.
Oh yeah, of course. That would be great if we could do that. That might be. Should we talk about that next?
Yeah.
Might as well. Then I want to talk about that electric toothbrush.
Yeah. Okay.
There, so.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
It looks like the Bay Window Motel is in East Dubuque, so it's just across the river from. They probably have a shuttle. Looks like there's a Cadillac.
Looks like there's something in front there that they use for. I wonder if that's like. I wonder how many you can fit in there.
3 across the back seat, maybe 1 or 2 in the front if it's a bench.
I love the idea of those. Bay windows.
Yeah.
Joel, you were telling me. You had this. Am I remembering this wrong? You had this idea, or you had seen a company who was selling reversed bay windows. Is that something that we talked about before?
I think was that
where the windows come
in.
They come inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We were talking about that.
Is that something that you saw? I can't remember if you, or maybe it was an idea that you had for a business, which I thought was a good idea. Do you know? Can you picture that, Jamie?
Yeah.
Like a bay window that instead of going out goes in.
Maybe that's a different motel you're thinking of.
Maybe it is. Reverse bay window motel, maybe it's called, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good idea. And I'm glad to see they have passive low E coatings. That's real important for bay windows.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bay windows leak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that's the benefit of the reverse bay windows, that it doesn't leak.
And not only that, I mean, I would argue that you're not using that space. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it may be like it's really kind of pointless, and it makes maybe sense makes it easier to clean if they're interior. They don't get as dirty.
Right.
See more, flora and fauna kind of in that area. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like the nice thing about a bay window is seeing it, but when it's facing out, you see it from the inside, but you don't get to enjoy the bay window.
Right. But
when you flip it in, it's like I get to see.
Right. It's you're kind of wasting that on curb appeal.
Right.
You should enjoy it for your own self instead of trying to impress people.
Mm.
I mean, it probably does it minimizes your square footage, but I mean that's negligible, right?
I don't think it does though, because I think unless it goes all the way to the floor, I don't think you get dinged for it on your square footage in your house.
Oh yeah, because it kind of
measured
goes
at
up.
the floor.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
if you,
yeah. Because the floor still ends at the same place.
Right,
It just
yeah.
goes up, and yeah, yeah.
Like you don't get dinged if you have a picture hanging on the wall, and that takes up space.
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe you should get dinged if you have a picture on the wall for that.
I mean, it should be not square feet; it should be cubic feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
measure
It should. Yeah,
of
it's
a
a very,
house.
very good point. So this electric toothbrush, this is a new one on me.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is really interesting.
I sort of get where it's coming from.
Yeah. So for the people viewing at home, it's an electric toothbrush with 32 rotating heads. So you just.
I like it, and I'll tell you why I like it.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I switched to an electric toothbrush from a regular toothbrush, I thought to myself, oh my god, this is so much easier and so much better at cleaning my teeth. But then as I got older and got busier and work took up more of my time and I had more responsibilities and stuff. In these go 90s, it's I just didn't have time anymore, and anything that makes it easier.
I mean, you don't have to move your arm at all.
Yeah.
Basically, you just stick the mouth guard
clamp down on it.
Yeah, so you clamp down on it. It's kind of like a mouth. It looks like a mouth guard, but with all the rotating heads on it, and then you just put it in your mouth, turn it on, and just sit back and just sort of hold it there, almost like you're holding a microphone.
Yeah.
Just kind of hold it there and just let it do its thing.
Right.
Really interesting.
I really like how the underneath electric toothbrush, how that text is justified. 32-headed electric toothbrush. Yeah. It's unusual.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's an interesting. Can you pull that up on the screen, Joel?
It's up there now. Yeah, I can
maybe expand it.
Bit, yeah. Now, I have a question. I don't know if you know this, but like a regular electric toothbrush is supposed to brush for like 2 minutes.
Does this only brush for 30 seconds?
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, or 10 seconds, or
yeah. Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Saves a lot of time.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd have to figure out. There's probably some equation with dividing, but it should be 2 minutes divided by. I don't know.
It might be exponential, or well, what's the word for exponential when it's getting less? Jamie?
I'm not sure.
What's the opposite of X?
Dex. I think it's dex.
Dextramal?
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But it's more than, it saves more time than just just dividing it by 4, it saves more time than that just because I'm not sure why. But I'm just you know what I'm saying? It's not just 4 times faster. It's like 6 times because there's these other things you haven't thought about, like how long it takes you to
you're
switch, moving around like that or whatever.
The only downside is when you use it, it looks like when you see in cartoons or whatever when someone's got like a lot of wind coming at them and their mouth sort of gets really big and sort of flaps around. Do you sort of know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that when you use it, but how often are you brushing your teeth in front of someone? I mean, really?
You'd be surprised with me, but
okay.
But you just don't do that. I mean, there might be a reason not to, and it's even if you are, it doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's only what did we figure out? 10 seconds.
10 seconds would be my.
Yeah.
And it also takes away all the bias. Like when you brush teeth, you probably have a bias to brush some more than others, and this is just
completely equal.
Yeah.
There are absolutely teeth I'm biased against.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So I don't know does anybody have anything else? Did you get that justified text up there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
This is something I'm legitimately interested in, this running turkey.
Okay.
sounds. I guess it sounds annoying to the owner. To me, it sounds like a dream.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, think of all the things you could do with this thing. I can't think of any right offhand, but
Me
I mean,
neither,
I'm sure if I thought about it.
Right.
There'd be a lot of uses for a running turkey.
Yeah.
A turkey that doesn't stop running.
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
That's good cardio too.
Mm.
So.
I imagine it would be very thin and
wiry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of. I wouldn't say muscular, but just very fit. It would be a fit turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I wonder if that waddle gets in the way when they run. Is that what that's called? Or a gizzard? What's it called? The waddle? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it's gizzard.
Right.
Yeah. It says I've tried medications like Valium and Xanax, but they only made it run faster. So that's.
I've never heard that. Well, yeah, sometimes medications have different effects on different animals.
Right.
Yeah.
Might be sort of like. I don't know.
Like to.
It doesn't feel pain, maybe.
It kind of seems like a waste of Valium and Xanax. Yeah, give that number a call and just say.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll take that off.
I'll take that off your hands for you.
Yeah.
It's not helping your turkey, obviously.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
They probably got a pack of like 30 of them.
Yeah.
You know, so there's.
A pack of what? 30.
Like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And if it didn't work the first time or the second time, then
right.
they've got, 28 left.
I wonder if those, who knows, like, those turkeys have probably built up a, tolerance to that.
That's true, yeah.
Stuff at this point. It's got to be, I think you need to start using something a little more hard hitting, maybe.
Yeah. I wonder if it's turkey exclusive Valium, though. Like, I wonder if, like, humans can actually have that. Because it might be exclusive for turkeys.
Yeah.
So I don't know if.
Like chemically wise or dosage or both, probably?
Just both, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess you got to call and find out.
Yeah.
There's a number there.
There's a number.
What's 414? What area code is that?
I don't know. 414.
What's Milwaukee?
262.
414. Chicago's 312, right? And what's Milwaukee?
262, I think.
Detroit's 313. Does that make any sense at all? Like, is there like a pattern to that?
I don't think there is. Or if there is, it's not based on geography.
What is it based on?
I don't know. You'd have to have like.
Well, if any of our viewers want to call in and if anybody knows anything about that.
Yeah, we haven't actually got any calls yet, so.
Yeah, is your ringer turned off, maybe?
I turned my phone off. No, I'm just kidding. I don't believe so.
No,
alright.
weird.
That might be a glitch.
Yeah, that's probably a glitch. I probably got calls. It just for some reason didn't show up on the phone because we're in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, sorry, folks, if I missed your call there. I think we're coming to the end of this here, and I am proud to say that I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I have to as well.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go now, or are you gonna? Are we? Is there any more to read? Or
I don't. Why don't I go and you guys
right.
see if we missed anything? I like the H-file submissions, particularly the people keeping on lookout for taller than average men.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, maybe I'll read that now. In issue 2 of the Hollywood Hogs newspaper, we had H-file stories. So the H-files are Hollywood occurrences in Hollywood that are a little bit odd or a little bit strange. Sort of unexplainable occurrences in Hollywood, because sometimes weird things happen. This ad for H-file submissions is basically saying, has anything strange happened to you in Hollywood, and if so, email us and tell us your story, because we are here to listen and we will print your story. If you send something in. So has something strange or unexplainable happened to you in Hollywood? Do you feel confused or spooked by the experience? Every night under the lights of Tinseltown, there are mysterious occurrences happening to do with evil beings, monsters, UFOs, aliens, hobbits, elves, regular people, demons, goblins, apes, werewolves, vampires, serial killers, ghosts, very tall men, taller than your average tall guy. I'm talking like 9 or 10 feet tall. Poltergeists, zombies, loud noises, apparitions, cars that come alive, graves and cemeteries, and the Rainbow Bar and Grill. Please tell us your story in an email to thehollywoodhogs@gmail.com, and we will share it in the next issue of the Hollywood Hogs newspaper. So, yeah, if anyone out there if you have been to Hollywood, if you live there, if you've been there, and something strange has happened to you, please tell us your story, because we're here to listen. We're not going to blow you off and say, oh, it might have been a trick of the light, or it might have just been something else. We're not going to say that. We're going to hear you out and listen to your story. So, yeah, email us your stories, and they might even get printed in the next issue. So, yeah, there's a not for sale ad here, which is interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen
one of those
either.
So I guess this is not for sale.
I get it though. I understand why he's not selling it. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't
sure.
sell that. I mean, especially if he's gonna restore it with his son.
Yeah.
Why would he sell it?
Right, he's probably sick of people asking.
And
right.
that's why he's
making
advertising it.
Right. I like how he shortened the word body work. That's smart for classified ads, because they charge by the letter, don't they?
Or pay by the line or something like that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I took out the nouns.
Mm-hmm.
And also, not only not for sale, but it looks like it's under a cover out in the yard, maybe under a car cover.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's probably
what's under the cover.
Right, he's probably sick of people asking what's under it. Yeah.
And then I guess there's numbers there, but don't call after 9 p.m. He probably works.
Right.
Don't
call. Period. But
right.
But especially don't call before 9 p.m.
If you are gonna call,
right? But don't. Yeah.
Make it before 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is interesting. For sale, a smoothie. Some people out there, smoothie freaks. Just made now, still cold, banana fresh, kale fresh, blueberries fresh, almond milk fresh, ice fresh frozen. 414-204-4646. No lowballers. So
that's that's interesting, because that's pretty like when I make a smoothie, that's usually what I use.
Yeah.
Like banana, kale, usually frozen blueberries or frozen something, and almond milk.
Okay. So you might be in the market for that.
You know what I do
Still
though?
Cold.
Right. But I don't use ice in smoothies. I'd rather use frozen
fruit.
Frozen fruit.
Okay.
Sometimes I freeze bananas. I always regret it. It never tastes the same.
Really?
But I mean, I don't think it does personally, but I don't know. I think I think there might be like a Freon leak in my freezer.
Oh yeah.
So it's making everything taste a little, making me feel a little funny.
Okay.
Do you have a Freon detector in your house?
No, do they make those?
I thought they did. That you plug in.
Yeah, they probably do.
Speaking of Freon, you can sign up free on meetguys.com. Homosexual butcher dating site for men. So, are you a male butcher looking for that perfect guy? Go to meetguys.com. It's interesting.
Is there any other kind of butcher?
Yeah.
That's seems like a double, not a double negative. What do they call that?
Double positive, I think.
Not that either. Like when you're, I can't remember.
Jamie, this is kind of off. You're a vegan, right?
Yeah.
Can you eat eggshells?
Eggshells?
Like the shells?
I don't think so.
Why not? I mean, if they're rinsed off or whatever.
If they're rinsed.
It's still, but it still implies that like somebody. Well, no, it doesn't necessarily. But they would have to be eggshells of chickens that were born and not killed, right?
Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought about that. I just thought egg cells themselves are not. Aren't they just calcium or something? Like you don't really
I thought they were
process
made out of
it.
feathers. I thought they were like feathers or something, like
What are
hardened feathers,
feathers
like
made
like
of?
the same thing of our fingernails.
That's what I was
are
gonna.
made of.
That was my thought
Yeah.
too. I mean, is eating an eggshell any different than eating a toenail?
Okay. I think anything with egg in the name, I can't have. I wouldn't have. So regular shells, like
I'll bet I can. I'll bet I
seashells?
can. I bet I can come up with something. How about
Cadbury egg is the first thing that came to my mind.
That's
But
got
that's
milk.
yeah.
eggnog?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because it's got dairy in it.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Nah.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah,
Some kind of egg you can eat.
brainstorm here.
Yeah. You could read the used UFO.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
So styling as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Where did I miss that?
Swap meet.
Damn, I think I might have lost a page here.
It's on the Tupperware. So
Oh, there it is.
2030.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get to it.
So yeah, I do want to hear about this.
What's this? The used UFO or the so style?
The so style.
All right. Let's see if I can get
Is that a play on words?
I don't know. Let's see if I can bring it up.
So.
I guess arguably it is.
Like is so supposed to be S?
It could be, yeah.
So or styling supposed to have a G on the end of it.
Yeah, I think
Is that
it's
what
a slang.
Is that what that apostrophe stands for?
Yeah. It's supposed normally has a G, but it's sort of more familiar.
Nice. Sort of more colloquial.
Yeah, right. So Styling is the world's most popular personal styling service for men. Submit the member application, which includes a detailed survey about your personal style preferences, sizes, and price ranges, and within 4 to 6 business weeks, an online certified personal stylist will send you up to 2 clothing and accessory items personalized to your unique style. So it sounds like this is sort of a subscription service which I've heard of before. Like, you send in your dimensions and things that your colors and stuff you like, and they'll put it together. So I started this company to break the system and turn the fashion industry on its head. I don't even care if this business is successful. If I flame out, I plan to take down as many people as I can in the process.
Those are the businesses that become successful.
Right.
Owners who think like that.
Yep. So the application, the name, your address, your gender, which is, I guess, only male, your clothes size, and the most money you are willing to pay for clothes.
Yeah.
So they want you to fill in sort of what your budget is, I guess.
Yeah.
And then your favorite color shirt, you can pick red, blue, or green. And then your favorite color pants. Looks like you can pick red, blue, or green, but you can't pick the same color as your favorite color.
That makes
shirt.
sense.
So you can't. They're not going to send you.
It's a fashion faux pas for one.
Yeah, to have green pants and a green shirt or something like that. So.
Yeah. And I wonder though about does it say anything in here about returns? Because I wonder, like it says, I understand. I mean, it says it's going to take 4 to 6 business weeks to deliver, but
yeah. I don't know if
what do you? Does that still take? Does that another 4 to 6 business weeks if you return it, or how does that work exactly?
I don't think you can return it, can you?
I mean, you shouldn't be able to.
I know. It's like
there's no reason barring like.
Anything that happens would be use or error. Like
right,
if you
because
send
you're giving them,
size,
you're giving them your name, address, gender, clothes size, and what you're willing to pay.
Right, and that's on you. If I think it comes, I'm sure there's quality control and things to make sure they don't send you the wrong thing. And
QC.
Yeah, right. So anyway, that's.
No, we already talked about hogwash, I think.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh,
what was that?
I don't know. Maybe it's somebody trying to. Maybe somebody downloaded the app,
That
the
could
puzzle
be.
app. Did you see any puzzle pieces move?
I didn't, but I haven't been looking. Have you got any pieces together yet?
No.
Yeah,
I haven't really been looking though. Yeah, I wonder if. Hey, Jamie.
Yeah.
I think somebody the power just flashed. I think somebody might have downloaded the app.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I didn't see any. We didn't see any puzzle pieces move though.
Maybe they're still looking.
Yeah. I see you have there's an entertainment showcase here with a bunch of links.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put that up on. Have you showed that yet, Joel? So
No, I haven't.
don't click on the links though.
Yeah.
You won't be able to.
Right. Yeah.
But you should. Don't even copy and paste them either. You should
Just type them in.
Type them in.
Yeah,
just be safe.
Yeah, because sometimes when you highlight a link, you'll miss like the last.
Yep.
The last.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, so I think just type them in just to be safe.
Right.
So that's all our entertainment stuff on YouTube. Yeah.
We were just talking. We discussed the So Style and.
Oh, you did?
East
Okay.
Eve there.
Nice.
That might be just down the street from the Bay Window Motel.
That's what I'm thinking because it's the same.
Is it the same
12 Cincinnati.
Cincinnati? Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! It's right next door.
Wow. Okay.
Well, right across the street.
Across the street. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might be. I think it might be.
Is that restroom?
Yeah. Should we? I mean, we've been going for I think almost 3 hours now. If you guys want to, are we?
Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else?
I don't know. Is there?
We didn't get that much of the puzzle done.
No.
I feel like.
I don't think so either.
But we did reach a good stopping point, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the puzzle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any chance we can leave these pieces on this table until I don't know, a year from now?
I think so. We could maybe wrap it in cellophane or something.
Or put cellophane, like have a put cellophane over the entire table.
Mm.
Or we could do that. Or we could do the thing where you ever see where you can like we finish a puzzle, they'll like glue them together.
Oh yeah,
put them like that.
Put them like a frame.
Yeah,
it goes back to my original. I can't remember if we were talking about this before the stream or after, but like, why not just not cut it into pieces? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Why not just
why ruin a perfectly
cut out the middle?
nice
Cut out the middleman, and just have a nice picture
in a box.
In a like cardboard.
Yeah.
Or don't cut out the middleman.
Yeah. Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, I think this is an accomplishment in and of itself.
I think so too. Well, we matched them all together. I mean, they're kind of in a square. Like if you look at like
Jamie's hoarding pieces there,
but sort of look at that. Like look at it like that.
I think we should. I don't know. Yeah, I'd like
it might
to
be
mount
done.
this.
And that's,
yeah.
I think we could pour some glue over it. Like I think Elmer's dries clear. Yeah, so maybe we could just pour a bunch of
use resin or something.
Yeah, or wood glue or something like that. Maybe make a nice maybe make a table or like a side table out of it or something like that.
Just until next time.
Yeah.
Until next stream.
Man, I almost want to take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That'd be a cool puzzle table, like the size of a puzzle. Whatever size that is.
See, that's something I thought about before. That's a good idea because I always thought a great puzzle idea would be to, you have to, like whatever the size of the puzzle is, you have to do it on that exact same size table.
Right.
Think about how difficult that would be. Just be dropping pieces everywhere and like.
Yeah.
See, part of the game would be that you'd be dropping pieces all over the place, and you got to pick them up. And.
Or I was gonna say maybe you drop them, you lose them.
Yeah.
Like you can't. They're like disqualified from the puzzle.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get done and you might, if you're good, it's a full puzzle. But if you're an amateur, you're missing 10 pieces or 20 pieces or something.
Yeah, like if you die in a video game, that's it.
Right. Yeah.
You've lost all your lives. Yeah.
Yep.
What about what about a service that offers replacement pieces? Is that something that could.
Like 3D printed pieces or something?
Yeah.
Or?
Although I don't. Yeah, I don't. I would prefer it come from an actual, other puzzle. I don't know. I don't know if I trust 3D printed puzzle pieces, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So people just like say they had a puzzle and they lost a piece and they don't want it anymore. They send it into you.
I want, I mean, I don't know how you number a puzzle piece or whatever, but I want you just say something like, see that one in the bottom left corner, like near the flower. I'm missing that piece. Or you could take the picture of the missing piece in the puzzle.
Yeah.
But then you get people cheating. Then you get people saying, "Oh, instead of finding the piece here, let's just call in and say I need that.
Point.
I need that piece, even though it's right here."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop somebody from just taking that piece out and starting to hoard pieces.
Yeah. I mean, you might. I guess you make them send a picture in of the puzzle completed, except for that piece that's actually missing. So that to prove that they actually need that piece, and they're not just trying to have someone else do the puzzle for them.
Like a newspaper next to them or something like that for proof of life.
Yeah.
So would this company just like stockpile puzzles?
I think they would almost have to. I'd prefer that, but from a cost benefit analysis, I don't think that's a bad ROI.
Yeah.
So I think maybe what they would probably have to do is just make each piece individually out of cardboard.
Okay.
I don't think 3D printing is. I think that's overkill for this, honestly. Yeah. And I don't think it would be as good as cardboard, because that stuff is made out of spider webs or something like that, or what is that? I mean, I'm kidding, but but it's something similar. It's like silkworm, like sort of that sort of same concept.
I think it's extruded.
Do you know anything about this?
Extruded something. I think it's extruded.
I know about printing, like this kind of printing.
Real printing?
Yeah, but 3D printing, when it goes from 2D like this to 3D, that's when I stop understanding. So.
Well, that is 3D.
It is. I would argue everything's 3D.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's 3D when you look at it like that, but when you look at an individual page,
there's still a little bit of.
You can't see.
There's a little bit of D to it.
Yeah.
Or three, I guess it is.
Right.
Yeah, you think so? I can't when I
guess
hold it.
Now that you mention it.
When I hold it like that, I can't see it.
Yeah,
it's like it's not even there.
Actually, you're right.
It's because it's
tough
so
to see.
thin.
It really is thin.
It's like it disappears.
I don't think I ever really realized how thin paper is. It's once it's in front of you, though, it's you really get a better idea of the thickness.
You hold it up.
Yeah. Because you hold it up to the light, and I see light coming through there.
Right.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah, I think so. We could sit silently for the next half hour.
We could.
Yeah. Or we could
read to yourselves.
We could wrap this up. Yeah.
We could do sort of ASMR type page turning.
It's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of.
A lot of people love the sound of paper being scratched.
Yeah. For sure.
I know. It helps me go to sleep at night. I don't like the sound of pages flipping, though.
Oh, yeah?
Never liked that. I was never a fan of that. I like paper being crumpled. I like it being scratched and folded, but I don't like it being flipped.
Oh, so you've been in torture this whole 3 hours
well,
from hearing the pages.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, but,
well, if we had known that, I could have printed them separate. I could have printed
well,
them.
I think
not
ideally,
stapled them,
Well, ideally, you print it on one long, what do they call
sheet?
those? What do they call those back in the olden days?
Parchment?
No, it's rolled up. You know what I'm talking about?
Scroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
If you had said something,
you can do.
yeah, if you had said something, I could have done that, but I had no idea. So.
You don't mind the sound of paper being unrolled?
No, I mean I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I mean I'm not as
Pick your
opposed
poison,
to it.
I guess.
Yeah, right, exactly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. Okay. should we wrap this up? I'm starting
Yeah,
to get
maybe.
a little punch drunk.
Yeah.
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 Me too.
Okay.
Okay.
I think so. Do we need to?
Should we do an outro? Just
I think so.
a little outro for
Probably,
people still
yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
So this has been the Hollywood Hogs newspaper issue 3, and a puzzle, and doing a puzzle. So
yeah.
we didn't actually finish the puzzle. Like we didn't get to that point, but I think
It's a
that's
puzzle
okay.
shape. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a rectangle for sure.
Yeah. So everyone read this. This will be out online tonight. You can access it through drive.google.com.
Just go to that website.
Yeah, if you go to that website, you'll find it. Yeah, so that's PuzzleCraft Live for everyone. So everyone, thanks for watching, and I was gonna say thanks for calling in, but I don't think we received the call.
Yes, I'm sorry I forgot to turn my phone on.
Yeah.
And thanks for doing the puzzle with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Along
For-
with us.
Assuming you
Jamie's.
did. Thanks to that one person who downloaded the app.
Yeah.
Don't know who that was, but thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie, for creating that program.
Yeah.
Yes.
No problem.
Yeah. All right.
Good night.
Good night.